The remnant of nomads feel lost in a world they don't recognize, controlled by evil forces who seek to enslave them. They have trained and prepared for this very moment.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nomad Remnant. All these new people in the chat that I haven't seen before over here on my channel. So if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff. I'd appreciate it. We do got some veterans that were in chat first. Groundfog, Garen Wilson, Unlce Oji. What's happening, brother? Man, there's a lot of different people in here. We got to give shout out and love to the brother Goon Beam. Good to see you, bro. Love my Goon Beams. PNW Minuteman, he's been making it through. Black Diamond Josh, what's happening, y'all? You guys have already been chatting it up. And me and Risky were in the middle of a conversation and realized we had to go live. And now I realize I can no longer pick up any of these Second Amendment products that are within my reach. So... But what we were talking about is the 26X optics, stuff like that. And, you know, what did you think of the 26X, Risky? I know you were just kind of getting into it.
So the only 26 I own is my wife's. And it's just like a Gen 3, pretty much stock 26 with Trigicon sights on it. And she's carried that for the longest time. But she doesn't shoot that much. And I know, I mean, most of the people watching this know, like, if you don't shoot that much and you have a 26 and you think you're going to be super proficient, like, you'd probably be more proficient with the 26X. So for those who don't know, a 26X meaning a Glock 26 slide with a shortened in length 19 frame. So a 26 that can hold a 19 magazine, basically. And I feel like if she had that, one, it would give her more ammo, and two, it'd probably be easier for her to shoot in the unfortunate circumstance she'd have to use it. So I like the idea of it, and you know, I might like it so much, I might take her gun from her and have to get her something else.
Well, see, because I know you just got the 43X Koa, and I have a 43X. I actually got, when I sold one of my last dogs, this guy wanted me to watch the dog for like an extra month, so he threw in his 43X, and I put the radiant on it and all that jazz. But I really was getting these smaller guns for my wife. I'm like, okay, like maybe she'll like the 20. Basically, I was trying to transfer her off the P365 XL. I really didn't want any more SIGs in my house because I just didn't want to support SIG. Like I trust the P365 XL minus the trigger spring, which is like the tiniest little spring that if that breaks your guns down. But so I was, you know, just transitioning everything over the house to Glock. And so I had the 43X and the 26, and I'm like, pick which one feels better to you. Which one do you like? She mainly carries the Bodyguard, Smith & Wesson Bodyguard with the comp.
Those are slick little guns. Like, I'm not pro Bodyguard for myself, but a guy I work with had one, and he was showing me that thing is tiny. It just melts away.
Melts anywhere you want to put it. It's like gone. It's like a keychain almost.
Yeah.
But it's hard to shoot. I can't lie. Like at 25 yards, I was shooting it, and I don't know if the sights are off because they don't appear to be off. But I felt like if I got, shout out to Gideon Optics. We're rocking the Gideon Optics shirt. But Gideon makes, I forget what it's called, the Pebble. And it's a dot that like you slop out the rear sight and it mounts into the top of it. It looks nice. I think it looks better than the Viridian one that they make. But I think with a red dot or a green dot on that thing, I think you'd be very accurate with it, at least out to 25 yards.
It ain't for me. It's cool. I like the idea of it, but and again, if you rock this gun, somebody listening personally, don't take offense to this. It seems to me sort of like the LCP style. Like most of the guys that I know that carry the Bodyguard or the LCP, they don't shoot that much. So they like the idea of having a gun on them. I mean, I get it. Like if you're wearing shorts in the summer and you're just running up to the gas station, or whatever, no hate, right? Like no big deal. But the reason I was so hesitant to even get into the 43X market was I've always subscribed to the carry the biggest gun you can, because if you get in a gunfight, you're going to want that big gun. And once I messed with the 43X, I was like, and I learned about the 15 round magazines, which sidebar, Glock store. Can I start cussing yet? Have we had enough time?
We're 5 minutes in. Yeah, I'm sure you're fine.
What the fuck are you doing, Glock store? How long is it going to take for you to send me my damn 15 round Glock 43X mags? I'm looking on Reddit. I'm so frustrated, and even Redditors are on the same page as me.
We got them in my shop. So I do social media for a local gun store, and we have them in the shop. So like
I might have to get with you after this to buy one or two.
I got you. I'm going to be there in the morning, so we could set that up. Probably get it faster.
But yeah, with like the new magazines for the 43X, I was like, what's the point in carrying a Glock 19? I mean, I'm not carrying extended mags for the Glock 19. I might carry a 17 as an extra mag, but I'm not throwing 17 round mags in the Glock 19 to CCW. So I'm like, what's the point in carrying all this? It prints way more.
The weight
I
of
will
it
say,
alone.
and I run the Radian Magwell, not the Afterburner or whatever it's called, only because of the length. And we were talking off stream before we started. I have the Streamlight for it, and that's cool. I like it. It weighs it down a little bit in the front. I'm sure it helps a little bit with shooting, but I don't like when I run it slick, it disappears in my waistband. I love it.
Let me ask you a question. How many rounds? And real quick, obviously there's 145 people in chat. Appreciate you guys for coming over to the show. Hit the like button, subscribe, and all that to this channel. I have been demonetized off YouTube for like probably a year and a half. And I woke up one day, just checked my status, and I'm able to get monetized again. So I appreciate all you guys coming. But we didn't give Risky a proper introduction. If you don't know Risky Chrisky, he's here, right? You see the mask. So I don't know how to like introduce you anymore. I'm like, where can they find you? Or like they could find you on X primarily, but he's highly banned.
I'm pretty much only on X. I've tried. I've said this before on other live streams I've been on. I've tried more than 10 times to be able to upload videos to YouTube. I've tried everything. If you can think of something else for me to try, DM me on Twitter and I will try it. But like I'm talking VPNs, voice changers, recording on separate devices, uploading those to computers that have never been on my Wi-Fi, like brand new computers. And I can through with VPNs, and their software still finds me and boots me. So I don't know how to get around it. I can't get on Instagram now. They're requiring me to show my ID.
You need that guy from GoldenEye.
I need to get with Flesh Simulator and see if he can't find a fix to that. I feel like he'd be the guy to get a workaround.
I don't know
who
what
Flesh Simulator is? You need
you put me on the Blurry Creatures last time we had a live stream, and I've been like hard on Blurry Creatures. So
Flesh Simulator is it's a completely different thing. This guy's great. Look him up. He's got a YouTube channel, Flesh Simulator, and go down the rabbit hole. Very fun, very entertaining. He goes into 9/11, he goes into Epstein. He's like a kind of like a nerdy guy, but he's real funny. He will rage bait somebody with the quickness and put him in their place. I love it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people in chat are saying Flesh Simulator is awesome.
Yeah.
But how many rounds you got on I mean, I'm sure you've shot a 43X before, right?
On the one I just bought, and I think I talked to Oji a little bit, and I don't remember if I think I hadn't picked it up yet, but I had ordered a 43. I was at work and I ordered a 43X MOS to pick up the next day from like Academy Sports, and I had ordered a Defender, Vortex Defender CCW enclosed. because it mounted directly to it. And that was literally the only reason. I was like, these don't have super bad reviews. These are definitely not having the same emitter problems as the Gen 1 Vortex Defenders.
Or as the Vipers.
Right. And so I go to Academy Sports to pick it up, and in the case I see a 43X Koa, and I was like, no, I'll cancel my order. I'm getting that. So I've only got about 250 rounds through it, and I like it. It's definitely, and obviously I just need to shoot it more. And again, I don't run a comp on it because of the length. I kind of took the Streamlight off of it for now. I got a holster for it and everything, but I like how minimalist and it disappears in my waistband when I'm carrying it with no light. So it's definitely snappier to me than the 19 or the 17 or 45 or whatever. But I have tens of thousands of rounds. Probably, I don't know if I want to say 100,000 rounds. Probably in like the 70 or 80,000 rounds through 19s and 17s. So I'm very comfortable with those. This is a little bit snappier.
What I've noticed on the 43X for me was that my draw, like, because the grip is skinny, but it's still pretty much the same length, like how big my hand was, like on the draw, I got a little shift. Like I'd have to shift it again to get it perfectly straight in my palm. Whereas like my hand going down for a 19 or the 26X or anything with that double stack, like it's just grab and go.
You know, as dumb as it may sound, and I almost wish, I know he's not going to watch this, but I almost wish like Ben Stager could hear me say this and critique it to tell me what I'm doing wrong or if this is right. My one fix, as dumb as this may sound, and again in the chat or in the comments, I would love to hear what you think of this, what everyone thinks of this. I hadn't had to do this with a 19 or 17. When I repositioned my trigger finger, and because it's such a thinner gun, my finger would wrap around the trigger more than I'm used to with my traditional draw with the double stack, full double stack. So I was having to remind myself, just use the tip of my finger. And when I remind myself when I'm drawing, just pull the trigger with the tip of my finger, I'm mad accurate with it. But if I get a full death grip on it and my finger goes through the trigger well all the way, and I'm pulling with the larger part of the pad near the hinge of the tip of my finger, I'm not as accurate.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Like that skinniness of the whole thing. It's like I have to wench down more on it, and then it's snappier at the same time. So it's like, I don't know. The 26X is virtually the same size as the 43X. Just you do get to use the double stack and have that slightly fatter grip. Then I mean you have a little bit of weight because obviously the slide's heavier. But yeah, I think the 26X is probably the smallest I'll go. And when I run my 26, I run it with like a 15 round mag with the grip gap thing, and or every now and then I'll run it with the strike +2 and run it with 12. But I only run that if I'm doing like manual labor type work, and I just refuse to not have a gun on me. So I'm like, I'll throw the 26 on me, and like I don't even know it's there.
Well, the 26X like kit from Glock store is only like $150 or something, right?
Yeah.
And you just use your same parts from the lower?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's worth it to try regardless. Because like if it doesn't work, oh well, not a big deal.
Yeah, so I had that Vortex Defender CCW on the 26X for a while. Love it. Absolutely awesome. Now it's on it's on a 45 slide, which is on a 19 lower, so it's like a 19. But I got a trade with a buddy of mine, and he wanted to get rid of a RMR and a 5-25 EOTech Voodoo, and wanted something that I had, so I made the trade and I got both of them. And so I put the RMR on there, and the RMR on the 26X, it's like everything about it is like the perfect size.
I might go full retard if I get the 26X and then get that new primary arms enclosed die and just go broke and refinance my house and go full retard into it.
Do you know what kind of cut? Because isn't that thing like made for every cut? I guess it wouldn't matter what cut you get.
Well, I don't have a cut slide, so I'd have to send it off to get. Oh, I might even buy. Fuck it. I might just buy a whole new gun. I might just. Yeah. I might just buy a
Bro,
whole new, brand new 26
they're
MOS.
they're so expensive, right? That's what I have, the Gen 5 MOS. Thank God, and I got it on Blue Label, like 505.
Yeah, I'll get a
And
blue
so
label. That's a good idea.
yeah, if you can find it, because Gen 5s are discontinued, so it's pretty tough. And like online, like Gun Broker and stuff, they're going for like 850, 950 for a 26
Jesus.
MOS. It's the slides alone are like $600. It's
Well, I would
Gen
have,
5
unless I
stuff
get
is nuts.
parts, I would have to have the whole gun to transfer the lower parts. Well, I mean, I guess it's not that many parts, right? That's a lower
No,
needs. It just needs like that block piece and then the trigger mechanism and all that.
I think you could. Well, you shout out to Marine Gun Builder. He has all the parts kits, like OEM parts kits on his website. So I mean, if you did get a Gen 5 slide, you could just buy a Gen 5 lower parts kit, stick it in the M1X frame, and yeah, you have a whole nother gun.
Yeah, I might do it.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I've seen the Glock store take. So you, I don't know if you know this. You might really be happy, but you could send that Gen 3 26 off to the Glock store and get it cut for the KOA and buy a KOA, and then buy the M1X
Have
frame.
they released the COAs by themselves now?
Yeah,
Are we
there's
past
places.
that time period?
Yeah, yep.
Hell yeah.
I
Well,
saw Midwest
I don't know.
Industries had them for like 4 something.
I might dabble lightly. I'll probably just get the 26X frame from Glock store, test it out on the wife's gun. And if that's legit, I might go full retard and just have the space gun 26 that nobody else has and try to make it different.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
get a 26X and put a Surefire 300 turbo on there and just make it completely retarded.
that would be nasty. Yeah, 650. I've seen Coast. What's up, Traveler? Good to see you. G Muir,
Put an FRT in it.
Drew in Oregon. Good to see you. Tim Harper. Good to see you. They are about 650, but I've seen them on sale. I forget who sent it to me. Drew in Oregon might have sent it to me. It was on sale at Midwest Industries. Not Midwest Industries. What's the one place who sponsors Magic Prepper? It's been with them forever. I forget their name all the time, but they send you the pamphlets still in
Midway
the mail.
USA.
That's the one. Midway USA.
Oh, Magic.
Oh, Magic. Shout out to Magic Prepper.
Has he released his first name? Does he talk about his first name on there? People say that.
I don't know.
Okay, I was about to make a rhyming joke, but I guess I'll wait. I don't know. I'm not trying to dox the guy.
I wonder if does he have the same first name as Magic Johnson? Irving?
No. Dude, you were saying that, and I was like, "What the fuck is Magic Johnson's first name?"
I
Sports
forget.
ball. I've been out of the loop.
Yeah, but that's like really old sports ball, so it's not as bad.
Yeah, Irving Johnson. Yeah, that's right. My man Bobby Cox died too. My Braves manager, he died.
Oh, man.
That was my dad called me. That's how you know my dad's a normie. Bobby Cox died. I'm like the retired Braves coach. Like this didn't warrant a phone call, my man. Like I love you, but I was as much a Braves fan as you when we lived in Atlanta, but like I don't fucking keep track.
Yeah, I don't either. Every now and then my algorithm still has me hit for like Michael Jordan and Larry Bird highlights, so they'll still come across my algorithm sometimes.
I'm looking at this. I'm following on StreamYard, and I see this guy made a comment. Acro is king. What a retarded comment. The acro, like I've owned multiple acros. You know what the good thing in acros used for is being a top dot above an LPVO.
Oh, it's the best top dot. Absolutely.
But for a pistol, bro, no, the window's too small. It's not.
The Koa is much better than the Acro.
Yeah.
If you haven't experienced Koa life, the whole frame of it is smaller and the window's bigger. So like I have a direct milled Glock 19X with an acro on it, and I like it, but it's definitely chunky. And once you experience the Koa, it's hard.
I would take an RMR over an acro,
No,
even though I prefer enclosed all day. But for the
enclosed
sight picture,
side battery tray. No,
I can't deal with the acro.
no screws into the slide. You have almost like a mini 1913 rail. It's way more hardened, I think. I mean, the RMR is proved to be as hardened can be, so it's hard to say that. But I don't know. I would take the acro.
I'm not a big acro pistol fan anymore, and I've had 2 of them. And I like them as just solid. Like I said, on a top dot, all the way, send it, full send. But on a pistol, it's like there's so many other. I would take a Hollow Sun all day, every day.
Oh,
I know, I get it.
you're killing me.
It is what it is.
I've never had problems with Hollow Suns. All right, so this is the only thing with Hollow Sun.
They're
They
made by
work.
Gooks.
No, I mean they work fantastic. So are all the SIG optics made in the same factory, but the coatings on their glass, and I know they're coming out with like a whole new line, and maybe they're going to change their coatings, but their coatings on their glass to me are not as like the acro. I keep these with me all the time, like a super soft chamois in my kit and my everything that I have, my daily carry bag. So like with an enclosed dot, it's just wipe, and like crystal
Well, I mean,
clear.
I'm an aim point fanboy. Like I've never been on the EOTech train. I understand the EOTech was shooting at night under not. I get it, right? The EOTech magnifier is the king magnifier. But like as far as red dots, like I've always been an aim point guy. I have Hollow Suns, I have other ones, but the acro on the pistol form, I'm just like, I tried it for a while. It worked. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't know what I didn't know. I bought it when it was fairly new, the P2, right when it first came out. And they fixed the battery issues.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is good, but I feel like I'm staring down a toilet paper roll. Like I feel like I have no situational awareness when I'm shooting this.
So some people were like the MPS, the Steiner MPS. That's how I feel on the MPS. It has like this flat roof on it. Like it feels like you're looking through like a storage container that's really small. When I look through
the coolest thing about the MPS is how it looks.
Yes.
It looks badass.
Uh-huh.
But no, I would take an acro over an MPS.
So would I.
Yeah.
And someone also, right here. Koa is the same damn size window. It is the same, like bigger. It's the same glass, but even on the bottom, it has less of the frame around it. So actually, when you measure the window size, which people have done with like a micrometer, or I don't know if that's what you call it, but the little thing that slides, it's actually larger, slightly larger.
I will say this: I have no technical data to prove this whatsoever. I'm sure it's out there, but obviously when we're shooting red dots, we should be target focused, right? So not staring at the dot, staring at the target. And the housing for the acro is significantly thicker than the Koa. So I feel like there's less obstructions in my view. And again, you still have the same accuracy, but it's, do you feel encumbered by that housing? I would argue I don't like the acro housing on a pistol anywhere near the Koa. The Koa is night and day difference. It's much slimmer in the view and the presentation. And but like I said, if you're shooting a rifle and it's on top of a dot or on top of an LPVO or whatever, not as big of a deal. I don't notice it as much. But I mean, I also haven't mounted a Koa on top of an LPVO. I would argue to say that the Koa would probably still do better on top of an LPVO due to that minimized housing.
The one thing I'd give it credit, I think I was talking to DLD about this, like, because I've been shooting LPVO with a top dot for probably over a year. That's like my main setup, and I have an acro on it. But because at least when I mount a dot, you can mount it on like the front part of the mount or the back part of the mount, like the scope rings, and I always do it on the front part. So it's farther away, so you don't notice that window as much. You're more target focused because the whole thing is farther away. You just need the dot.
Yeah. And again, I don't like for a top dot, my go-to pick right now with all the options is the acro. So
I love
take
my
that for what it
magnifier.
and I only use it literally the only time I use the top dot, and I took mine off, is for passive night vision shooting, which I found I don't really do it that much. It's cool, like the whole let's run through the gambit of SHTF scenarios and be ready for everything. Yeah, it's cool to be ready for everything, but it's like this thing's way up high. I don't use it as much. I want when I present the rifle for my eye to go to that main optic, right? And when I have that top dot, I find myself chin welding it and wanting to use that more, and it's less accurate. And then when I'm the main reason is when I'm going out to range is if I'm zoomed all the way in, is using the dot to get me in the vicinity and then drop down into the optic. I like that a lot, but I didn't do enough passive shooting to warrant the extra nuisance of it just being up top, and I didn't want to have to deal with it because my whole thinking is I keep the lamb off of it. It's in a Faraday bag. If I got to use the lamb, it's already zeroed. It maintains zero close enough, and it's also got a visible light or a visible laser, so I can just double check it real quick. Slap the fucking lamb on there if I got to use nods.
Yeah, I don't have a lamb on my LPVO with top dot. I want one, but I would want something super light like an Iris 4, like Unlce Oji's got. Or even I'm happy with the Trinity, the SMS Trinity.
I've heard good things about that. I was actually talking to a SWAT guy today about that, the SMS. My thing is my training, and I think a lot of guys, not everyone, I'm sure somebody in the comments will disagree. I think most of the guys I know with night vision are amped up. They love it. They get it. And then they're like, shit, I don't get to shoot under nods as much as I would like. They find themselves walking in their backyard or on their property looking at stars more than actually shooting under nods. And I found that to be true as well. It's just harder to be able to go out and shoot at night if you don't have a shit ton of property of your own. And my default training from the military was all active aiming. So I was always using a laser. So my muscle memories with the laser, I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to try to avoid fully kitting up with nods if I can to begin with whenever whatever happens goes down. So my thinking is keep it in a Faraday bag so it's still usable with the nods. If I got to break them out, I'll slap it on and use it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be encumbered with the extra weight.
Yeah, I mean, I've just gotten like, so with the top dot, if you're in like low ready or patrol, all you got to do is just get the butt of that gun here and raise it up, and you can be crazy accurate with it. Like, I don't have to dig down. I don't have to I just have to lean into my gun, bring the gun up, lean into my gun. And I've shot my acro out to 375 on a steel silhouette, just bing, bing, bing. And I have a 50-yard zero with it. But that's hands down my favorite setup. My other setup, I don't know if someone, who is it, Kingdom of the Vinland, was looking at my videos, but I do have the G45 magnifier with the 4XT Pro, and it's good. It's just different. I need to train longer with it, but I'm still a LPVO top dot. That's like just what
I mean, I
love
the magnifier dot combo or EOTech combo. Like, I love it. I don't run the EOTechs. I run like a T2 or a Comp M5, and my SBR is set up as a night gun. So it's got a D ball on it. It's got a magnifier, red dot with a riser. I know those are going out of style, but it's got the Unity setup, and it's perfect for what it is. My thing is, I just like the LPVO. I really like the 1-6 Gen 2 Vortex Razor. It's my favorite optic, and it does what I want. Is it perfect? No, it's got downsides for sure. But for what I use it for, it does the job. So I'm not too worried about it.
I think people greatly underestimate observation capabilities, like greatly. And
I'm torn, right? I'm from a just a preparedness standpoint, right? Like I've said this before, I'll say it again. A lot of guys don't like it, but this is just my thought. Generally, broadly speaking, as a civilian, right? Probably not going to get in decisive engagements if we can avoid them, right? It's mainly defensive purposes, uh hit immediate threats, get the fuck out of there, right? Obviously, this isn't necessarily geared towards guerrilla fighting, Minuteman nonsense, all that, right? But for a generalized civilian gun, I think just a dot, like a red dot or a holographic sight, throw a magnifier on if you want, in some sort of shorter barrel to make it handy, because you're hopefully not going to have to use it. And if you do, it should probably be within 50 or 100 yards. I generally like that. But then the other side of me is like, and maybe it's hubris talking, I'm not the average fucking dork who only shoots once a year. I go through the mental gymnastics of what if this, what if that. I don't like tyranny. I don't like pedophiles running my government. I've ran through all the possibilities of what could happen. And I like having the extra magnification, the extra observing capability, to your point, right? And I want to be able to maximize my effective range. And that's where I'm torn. It's like I like having the magnification for observation, for able to reach out, but then the realist side of me is like, I'm a civilian. I'm not in the 82nd Airborne anymore, right? I shouldn't be probably going out and setting myself up for this, because I don't have a fire team and a squad and a platoon behind me with 240s and mortars supporting us and aerial assets. So it's a whole different, like once you start going down that realm, you have to think of all these after effects and all these other options. And it's like, you have to, at some point, you have to bring realism into the conversation. And it sucks
absolutely.
because I love wargaming it, but there is that line in the sand between I'm just fucking dropping money on shit because I like it and I like the idea of it, whether I have that training capability or not, whether I have 10 people that I can call in a moment's notice, right, or not. And then what am I realistically going to encounter, and how am I going to react to that depending on the threat? And so that's where I'm kind of torn.
What
And
barrel
who
length
am I to
are you
speak?
running? What barrel length do you run?
I have like fucking 50 guns, 50
No,
rifles, right? So like I have all the options.
With the LVPO, with the Vortex, that's a 14.5.
14.5 URGI.
All right. I will say, so I've been running it on the Super Duty 13.9 for like a year and a half, and I got the 12.5 Super Duty and took that setup and put it on the 12.5 Super Duty, and the mobility you have with the 12.5, still having that optic setup, it's like using a shot timer. My speeds just instantly got shorter, and it was just from being able to manipulate the gun easier than, if I want to run a can on it with a can on a 12.5. If I'm running a shorter 5.5-inch can, I'm only looking at less than an 18-inch barrel.
You
so I mean,
I hear something real funny and gay. I like to think that I'm going to be super sneaky and I won't have to be super fast like that.
They can never see the mask.
Yeah, they'll never fucking see me.
I know OG had a lot going on. He wasn't sure how long he was going to stay, so I know he popped in early. What's going on, OG? If you guys don't know Uncle OG, what's happening, bro? Tell him where you're from, what you do, and welcome to the show, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on, dude. This is super cool. Fucking good to see y'all again, brother Risky. Good to see you, bud. Fucking I am the purveyor of the Uncle Oji YouTube channel, where we make retarded gun content in my garage like it's 2010. And I just talk about gun stuff like it's 4chan but in video form. So that's kind of what we do around here. just everybody's OG's my sleep paralysis demon. That's my role on the internet. You know.
Yeah, right before I go to bed, for some reason, YouTube is like, "Hey, you missed OG's live," and I'm like, "Oh, I did."
Ah, yes, replay gang. Shout out replay gang. Fucking yeah, thanks for having me on, dude. Fucking some topics talking about barrel lengths and such. Right up my alley.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, fucking dude.
You're a 16-incher, aren't you?
I am a fucking diehard 16 enjoyer. Fucking it's just all reliable for me. I think it's partially because I'm like shaped like a shaved fucking Sasquatch. So I'm just a massive human being.
You look like a tall dude. You look like you're like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, I'm around there. Fucking.
Do you run cans?
Not yet. I was actually just talking with somebody in my comment section. Let me see here. Pull it up.
That was my biggest thing. Was once I started running cans, I was like, I gotta get rid of some barrel length to compensate here.
This guy,
and now I'm at the point. It's like no longer than 12.5. 12.5.
Yeah. So I'm working on getting a Super Duty 12.5. And that's going to be like my dedicated NVG setup. You know what I mean? So
it's whatever you want it to be, the 12.5.
Yeah, it's the
12.5 mini SPR.
It can do fucking whatever, which is super cool. But that'll be my dedicated night gun, and I'll probably do like the whole Unity riser nonsense, like the 225 fucking skyscraper mount, whatever the fuck. And then
that's what's on my 12.5 right now with the Sig Red Dot G45 magnifier, the Trinity. I even have the HRF concept skiff that it's like the mini Hydra mount.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was just looking at that today, actually.
I got the Trinity on there and the Axon button. I love the setup. Surefire. It's
on my SBR, I'm probably going to lower. I have the Unity riser now. I'm probably going to lower it and go with the Wilcox mount and just get it back. Because maybe I'm a sucker for being swayed by the internet. But the only reason I even ran the Unity to begin with was I had a Rock River UTE-2, and it had the built-in rear iron sight. And so if I took a Unity aimpoint mount and ripped out the iron sights, I could co-witness the other irons underneath the dot, similar to how you would co-witness irons on a carry handle with a dot on top. And I like that. But since I bought like a Daniel Defense, I bought a Daniel Defense Mark 18 upper for it. And I'm trying to set that up, and my whole thing is I got to lower this down a little bit because I'm just running it slick, no iron sights. Which I fucking love it. I love it.
What? No, bro. In my last video,
I never put irons anymore.
I'm like, I cannot not have irons on my gun. I'll fucking.
I did that for the longest time. You know, I was in the Army and was not issued a rear iron sight, and we had the front fucking.
What?
Yeah, I never was issued a rear iron sight.
That's crazy work.
Yeah, and I never needed it, and I ran aim points most of the time. So I trust the aim point.
Like when it's absolute co-witness, you could just center that bitch in there, and within 25 yards, you could probably just point shoot that shit anyway.
I'm of the standpoint, if the dot goes down, just use the housing. As a general reference point.
Yeah, you'll figure
I even do that on pistol optics sometimes, like with my acros and my koas. Like if I'm just reactive shooting, I'll use the top of the optic as my dot because I know that it's somewhere right underneath it. But the thing for me with the Unities and even the Hydra mounts, like it's not the benefit of having it so high. I like having it high. For me, I got kind of a longer neck, so it works out for me. And I also wear glasses, so like when I'm wearing glasses, when I start doing this tilting and looking out the sides of my different parts of my lenses, if I'm straight up, I get a better sight picture. But I like having that laser back with the optics going over my hand versus at the end of my gun, because then when you put the laser there plus the suppressor, and if you want to have a possibility of a quick detach bipod, you're just adding all this weight to the very end of your gun. And I'm like, I like it all.
I do dig the lamb closer to the optic. I think that makes sense just from a balance standpoint. I also like the risers for the simple point. If you mount the laser to the rail itself, it'll definitely clear it and you'll have a completely unobstructed sight picture. Nothing irks my OCD, my non-existent OCD, more than having just the fraction of the bottom of the fucking circle of my aim point with a flat rectangle of a lamb. And then when my dumbass puts my thumb on top, because I don't trust pressure switches, then my thumb's in the way. I fucking hate that.
Bro,
that
the Unity Axon button is the one that has like an angle, so you have to like push into it instead of down. Yeah, is where it's at.
That's actually the only pressure switch I haven't broken so far is the Axon. So I will agree with you there.
Yeah. And then you can have the dual, so you can run different settings. And I mean, I originally I don't like pressure pads on like white lights and stuff, but I mean, when you can run that and it's out of your way.
My biggest thing is I like to run my sling one of two ways. And the second way requires some modding. The first way is on the outside of the buttstock. So it torques the buttstock towards my body, and then on the far inside of the rail closest to the muzzle. So on the very tips of it. The other way is on the closest part of the rail to the upper receiver, and then on the back plate near the pistol grip. I like that as well, but you got to have a back plate that accepts a QD on it.
I feel like that always runs into my hand whenever, you know, I'm like gripping the rifle. It just kind of like
the problem I run into is if I don't want to run the pressure switch, if I run that white light all the way at the end, how the fuck do I put the sling where it doesn't get messed up with the light? And I've got a little way that I've done it. I'll send you a picture after this where I mount the light sort of on the M-lock side, but I hinge it down onto itself. And so it looks like the sling's going to interfere with it, but it doesn't by like a few millimeters. So that's how I'm running it now, so I don't have to use a pressure pad. But on a short rifle, fuck. Like on the 10.5, dude, biggest pain in the dick. I have to run a pressure switch on it.
That's why the 12.5 is king, because you got the longer rail, but you still got the short package. You got the more velocity. It's like the middle of the road, the jack of all trades kind of rifle is the 12.5. You know,
I don't have one, but I would tend to agree with you at face value. I think I would definitely want to get one.
Yeah, I want to get a second one, and I would get rid of my 13.9 to get a second 12.5 and then run the LPVO topped out on there.
I'm kind of running into an issue with my Iris 4. So as you know, that's like a all-in-one sort of package, right? Where it's the fucking laser, fucking IR shit, visible, white light, whatever the fuck. And like I was kind of thinking like, man, I want to push for one thing is obviously I'm fucking dying on the hill of keeping the iron sights on, you know what I mean? So I do the army thing where I fucking put it on the side rail, which isn't like the worst thing in the world, but like no living person in existence has ever put a fucking iris on the side, so I just look like a fucking weirdo when I do it. And but it works, you know. Plus I have enough room to actually put the tape switch, which the tape switch for that thing is ginormous. It's fucking 3 buttons, so it's like literally like that long.
It takes a crane plug, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so you could swap that.
Yeah.
I would. I didn't even know they made an Iris 4. I thought they stopped at 3. But the one thing when I had the first SMS, the HFX something that has all 4 settings, I instantly I'm like, it's nice for like I have it on my 11.5 for my home defense gun because I can just press it. I have white light and a laser.
Yeah.
But like for my battle gun, I want a surefire. And then all 3 separate. So it's hard having one unit do everything.
Yeah, I mean the Iris 4 does it, and it does it pretty well. Fucking, it's the flashlight performance is actually really good. I tested it out in a big canyon in Oregon. And it
Dude, the
fucking
other
worked surprisingly
Keep it
well.
real. If you're most of the lambs out there, the amount of money you're spending on a lamb, it better freaking do everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
Like,
kind of the calling for the Iris 4 is it's just like for as much as it costs, which is cheaper than a lot of other popular lambs out there, it's like it punches out of its weight class pretty easily.
the HFXC is pretty dope. I mean, for a $300 lamb, that's I mean, I haven't put it through its paces too hardcore. Shout out to Drewski out there who sent it to me. I see you, bud. And whoever said barrels are $85, dude, I'm not gonna put an $85 on a $85 barrel on a duty gun, you know.
I mean, if that's what you can afford, bro, just test the snot out of it and run it and save up for a replacement. Dark knows, everybody knows. I'm the guy. Run what you got, what you can afford. Make it the best it possibly can be if that's all you got. And because I never want anyone to not be ready.
In a similar manner to OG's hesitance to get away from iron sights, backup irons, I'm very similar in his thought process of, or y'all's thought process of, okay, I got a lamb, I still want a surefire on there. I'm the same way, but here's the wild, unfortunate truth, right? We want to have a top dot to passive aim and do all this, right? We want to be fucking ready to go. You know what I never used more than a few times ever in the Army was a fucking white light. Never, dude. Never. Yeah. If your light goes off, you better be searching a closet when we're doing CQB. And you know what we shouldn't be doing as civilians? Fucking CQB, right? So it's like, I get it. Sure. As a civilian, I should be identifying what I am shooting. So I need the white light. But it's like, I got the lamb on there. Should I be exposed? Like, there's so many aspects of this that I feel like YouTube and the internet, it glances over. And it's like
them. And you actually brought up a good point, Risky. Earlier, you had said something along the lines of like you think of like every possible scenario, like if this, then this kind of thing, right? So we don't
a decision tree. Yeah.
And like what do they call it? Venn diagram. You remember Departed? Freaking Venn diagram. So like it depending on what we're talking about. If we're talking about me being a civilian, reaching out on my property, with a rifle, just like schwacking some yoties, or a self-defense situation, that's different than me, like rolling my nods down and going out and smoking anything within 100 yards of me. Two totally different things that would require two different mindsets and just all of that, so
I'm of the standpoint of, and again, it comes down to money and means and everything. I have a self-defense rifle and I don't fucking touch it for this whole SHTF stuff, right? It is white light, it's bare bones, it's reliable, it's just there to defend my house for a traditional self-defense situation. The other guns are in the safe, right? But when it comes to, oh my God, the gooks are fucking paragliding in to rape us all, right? Like, then I'm thinking nods, all this, but it's like, then you go down that decision tree. And if I worry about every what if, my gun's going to be fucking 15 pounds. Yeah. And I'm going to be throwing up on the objective because of how exhausted I am. Like, that doesn't work either, right? And it's like, you have to make concessions. And I think the internet, and if I was still making videos, this would be a great video. Like, where do you need to make those concessions and why? And like a realistic discussion of that said decision tree of if this, then that, if that, then this, right? What do I need? And I think at the end of the day, like in the military, like I said, most infantrymen, unless they're doing CQB, which let's face it, infantrymen, besides like Fallujah, and then, I mean, I did it in Baghdad a little bit, we're not really using white lights. Our goal is to be out in the woods, outside, not exposing ourselves, not negligently discharging white lights or lasers or any of that noise light discipline. Yeah, there's the word. And on the civilian side, I feel like we get so caught up in, I got to have this, I got to do this, I got to be ready for this. It's like, yeah, you should probably know CQB, but like if you don't, when the rapist gooks fucking paraglide in, is that going to be your death because you don't know CQB? It's like,
It's
no,
because we've
dog.
never done it. It's because we all like romanticize it because we've never done it. So we're like, honestly, I think if you went through every single potential situation, it would all go down to basically bring you to one rifle, which is like an 11.5 to 14.5 inch with a can and a 1 to 6 or 1 to 8 LPVO with a piggyback red dot, and that would take care of like 90% of the decision tree.
Or
And
a
even
red
the
dot
can,
and a
that's the
5x
other thing.
magnifier.
Dude, I think about the can all the time. And you know the reason I have a can now? Like, I didn't buy it for this reason. But the reason I keep it now for the SHTF gun is because I don't feel like wearing ear pro and fucking contacts
sure.
when I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't feel like doing that shit. I'm not going to do that.
Mm.
I'd
It's for
rather,
my hearing.
I'd rather just wear like a set of regular earbuds and with a can on. I mean,
Because if you go in, if you're actually shooting and doing the shit, it's going to get so hot. And guess what? They're still going to hear it. They're going to know you're there. Right. And and depending on your rifle length, like the flash is still going to be there. It might be mitigated, but they're still going to be flash. So it's like, what are we even doing at that point? So the whole there's so many things to take into consideration. And it's like, we all get caught up in it. I mean, fuck, I had a fucking YouTube channel about it, right? But the fantasy of what are we going to do when this happens? It's like, at the end of the day, you know it's going to win if you know how to use your rifle. It doesn't matter if it's an 11.5 or 16 or 18 or 20 and you have iron sights or a fucking LPVO with a piggyback Acra. It doesn't matter. If you know how to use it and you've prepped yourself to the point where you're not starving to death and you don't go out of your way to get into engagements, like, you're probably going to be okay. But if you just spent $50,000 on your setup and you're only worried about tactical stuff and nothing else, you're a loot drop.
You're going to die.
real quick introduction. I know we didn't introduce DLD After Dark. Shout out to DLD After Dark. Thanks for joining me, brother. Always good to have you on my channel. And FousbTripp for joining. Was watching some of your show, man, and I know you were over at it's not a trial, it's the preliminary hearing, was it?
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, man, good to meet you face to face, and welcome to the stream.
Happy to be here. I'm a little tired. You know, I got like 4 hours of sleep in the last 48, so I'm hanging in there with stimulant maxing, as the kids say. But I'm happy to be here. Yeah, you know what matters in a gunfight is actually being able to use your gun. Shocker, it's crazy, but if you can actually shoot the thing, you know, it helps you. You know, when you're trying to do the thing. It's crazy.
John with words of wisdom as usual.
I think the biggest factor in SHTF gunfighting is going to be similar to the military, is volume of fire and the guys you have with you. I would take like good guys with me with less money in their equipment that all know how to use their shit.
That run
that run their stuff versus like we all have great setups and those guys don't shoot, and we got maybe 1 or 2 guys who do shoot, and like that situation. So like.
That's a huge part, the guys who know what they're doing, but the other huge critical part is preparation and planning, right? Like if we're talking about, I'm trying not to incriminate myself. It seems, you know, multiple of my friends now are going to prison, so I have to make sure I say the right thing here. In this fantasy that I'm not for real gonna do, right? Like when we're talking about another nation invading us, not anything else. If we're going to go offensive or do the things right, like make sure the planning is there. Make sure you know the terrain. Make sure you have multiple contingency plans for everything. I think the guys, and I'm not saying the military is the best of the, you know, the military, you know, half those guys can't fucking shoot anyway. I know, I was in the military, right? And they get out and they think they know more than you, and they're fucking retards.
They come to our training classes.
We know the military has the finest trainers on the internet.
Yeah, we've all been at the range with these guys, and it's like, what are you doing, dude?
And I'm these guys.
Law enforcement.
The planning,
law enforcement, military, all of them have a very baseline. I mean, but now that I've seen Trench Grenade correct Lucas Bakken about his training video, you know, I left him a nice little sweet comment. But
a great example I give people, and I don't think I've ever said this on the internet, but just to put it into perspective to the lay person, right, watching this, as the amount of contingency planning there needs to be. Like, when I was in Iraq and we were running missions, right, we would have not only plans for contact, but for IEDs. So let's just talk about IEDs. What happens if there's 5 vehicles?
No, I don't want to talk about IEDs. That's a prison sentence, dog. No,
I get it. Yeah,
out here giving.
If there's 5 vehicles in the convoy, we would go through what happens if the first vehicle gets hit, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. What happens if it can still move? What happens if it can't? What happens if we're taking fire? Right, for every single vehicle. So there's like 15 contingency plans just there for that one scenario of there's an IED attack, right? Much less if we're taking contact, no IED and all this. So we would literally know before we went out, if the third vehicle gets hit and it's not able to move, are we going to get the guys what vehicle are we putting them in? What are we going to do with the vehicle that we leave there? Are we staying? Are we going to continue to drive and get out of there? So there's so much planning that goes in so that when whatever happens, you just react and you go with it. I think that's the point that I want to get across to people is this is all, it's a fun fantasy to think about what am I going to do when the fucking World War III happens in America. It's like, you need to really set yourself up for success. And if you're going to go into an active engagement or go into an area where it's dangerous, you need to overthink everything. And the same level of autism that we take into what fucking scope and what barrel length, like that's what you need to take into the real life thing. Because
you gotta have those discussions. You gotta have those discussions with the guys that you're at least planning on being with in that situation.
And those guys have to be competent and smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
And you can just rely on the retard down the street that's like, I got a gun, I'll help you, buddy. Like, is he really going to be able to perform and remember all this shit?
I got my dad's 20-inch. Dude, when we do like the War Game Wednesdays, like, we always say, if your mind hasn't gone there, like your body won't go to a place your mind hasn't gone. Bro, those wargaming scenarios make you think, and it's a crazy exercise, dude.
We're gonna have to add one in that has an IED in our car camp move.
Oh snap!
I think it's important also, just in terms of like the whole mindset thing. Like, if for the prepared citizen, all right, like with Chrisky's, fucking paragliding gooks and invading and shit like that.
Rapist gooks.
Yeah, yes. Rapist gooks. Yeah, homo thug rapist falling out of the
pedo
sky.
Gooks.
Fucking I think just from a logistic standpoint, for the civilian side, from a logistic standpoint, prolonged engagements are just like an automatic disengage factor. Like, that's like you're not there to sort of duke it out, because the risk just increases exponentially every minute that you're there on the X. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really have the ability to fucking take casualties.
In this hypothetical, is it civilians versus a an enemy near peer force? Because I feel like if you're civilian, even a squad of like really well trained civilians going up against somebody that has real hardware and can call for backup, or call for fire or drone support or anything else, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this sucks. I need to not be here.
I'll be right back.
All of that needs to be taken into account, right? Like the whole notion of, and I'm, again, for the overlords, I'm not talking about the U.S. military, right? Like, I'm not talking about us fighting the U.S. I'm talking about, like, let's get invaded. I know we're on YouTube here, but like another near peer threat, like you probably are going to lose every single fucking time. So the thought of going toe to toe is fucking retarded. You're gonna die. Like, don't do that, right? You catch somebody slipping and you've planned in advance. Yeah, take advantage of the moment, but it should be harassing stuff. It should be striking the fear in the heart of the enemy and then running and fleeing for your life, right? Like that sort of thing. This whole notion of we're gonna go toe to toe and ambush, like, No, dog. That's
So
your enemy needs to be different for you to accomplish that goal.
yeah, part of the reason I changed the channel name from Red Dawn Readiness to Nomad Remnant is because I actually, after wargaming these scenarios hundreds and hundreds of times now at this point, I honestly think our greatest threat would be if this alien stuff kicks off and our own government gets very authoritarian during that situation. Maybe they partner with Blue Helmets or something like that. But I don't see the Red Dawn like they're coming out of the sky, the Chinese pedos are dropping with their parachutes. Like, I don't see it anymore because they can't call for support if that's the way that they're coming in. They probably have different means of support, but that's not going to be their best chance of enslaving all of us, right? Like, their best bet is the worst threat we could face is from our own government. And
absolutely,
with this alien stuff that's coming up, it's like they're playing all these different Illuminati cards all at once, you know, like,
bold of you to assume we're not already
off the
enslaved
table,
in
bring
open-air
in the
prison.
alien. Say again, my bad.
I said bold of you to assume that we're not already enslaved in an open-air prison.
Yeah, we are, but I'm saying the prison could always get cracked down even worse.
Yeah. We could go into solitary confinement. That's still on the bingo card.
Yeah, it's on the bingo card. We've been in it once actually already, so. And I started my preparedness journey out in the prepping world. And then once I had kids, I was like, well, now I need to defend this because like I could always scavenge on my own, you know, but like once you have a family, it's like, okay, now I have to defend this area. And yeah. So now I have 13 Belgian Malinois and all kinds of training under my belt.
To your point of our own government, our own military being our greatest threat, that's 100% correct, right? Like, are you like? Let's be real. Are any of us worried about a foreign fucking government coming here to enslave us? Like, no. Get the fuck. You're not coming here.
The foreign government is here.
Well, yeah. So you're not necessarily wrong, but the enforcers of that being our own government, like that's the problem, right? Our own government being the enforcers, right? So you really have to think when and why and how would they do that? And to the alien point, I look at the alien thing. First of all, I don't buy it for a fucking second, but I look at that as maybe not their Hail Mary, but it's in their final set of plays with whatever their playbook is. If they can't get a grasp on the narrative on us, they think there's going to be some sort of revolution or uprising. Fucking send in the aliens. Then we have a worldwide reason to crack down because the aliens say, you know, you can't have guns, you can't do this. We're going to come together. Something stupid, right? But I think that if we're talking about our own government, I don't foresee them being able to just be like, you know, guns are illegal now. Like, no, it's going to have to come from somewhere else because people aren't going to buy that. I think enough people will be afraid if a Project Bluebeam type event happens that neighbors will be turning in neighbors, right? It doesn't matter if you're in a red state or blue state. I think it's going to take something of that level for our own government to turn on its people openly, martial law in the streets type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at the aliens like how we were looking at the EMP stuff and the cyber stuff before. It's like they need something to take the grid down so that it's like you must come to me for all resources. And once they can, whatever mechanism that is, whether it's like, well, the aliens knocked our grid out, and now you know how we should fight them with AI, and only the government has AI now, and we need to like amp that up. But whatever mechanism, I feel like, do they want to label China anymore or Iran as this threat that took out the grid and made us all come to them for every resource? The aliens are perfect because there's never anyone to blame with the alien stuff. It's like, it's the sky people. They did it.
It's like what we were talking about earlier on the phone tonight. It was like, okay, if our own government tries to overreach even more than they already have, like an absurd amount, a really almost comical amount, they know that if they were to do anything too far, that if they were to have like flying freaking saucers in the sky with a bunch of, you know, jiggly jelly pods driving them, they'd be like, well, sorry guys, we got to give up this X, Y, and Z because I mean, you know, look up there, right? Like it'd be some other thing that like, oh, it's not our fault, we're just, you know, powerless, we can't do anything, and they'd blame it on, you know, whatever aliens.
You know what's
I don't know,
funny
I called
is
BS.
I'm pretty sure everybody here believes in Jesus Christ, the Bible, Scripture,
Absolutely.
and we're Christian.
Yep.
So what's funny is in the Old Testament there was what's called the scapegoat, which is name in Hebrew was Azazel, which is a name of a demon from the Book of Enoch, but that is their scapegoat, and it just happens to also be the name of a demon. It's like the perfect scapegoat for them.
Bro.
I think and again, I'm spitballing here. I haven't thought of this prior to, so maybe I'm off. I do think the alien thing will happen at some point. I don't believe it's intergalactic beings and shit like that. But I also think I have enough faith in humanity, and call me a Russian sympathizer. I feel like they would have to shut down communications to a degree, because imagine like Putin coming out and being like, it's your own pedophilic government covering for the Epstein files. Like then people will be like, oh, fuck. Right. So they're going to have to like cut off some sort of level of communication, whether the aliens start broadcasting on your phone and TV and laptop all at the same time, no other communication in it. And it's just some sort of Pegasus software to the nines or whatever the fuck they're using. I really think that's going to be a huge tell, right? If somebody takes over the internet or the grid, whether it's a terrorist attack or a cyber attack or AI is fucking, we're past the point of no, whatever it is, aliens. I think that's the big tell, right? The global shutdown of communication. I think that's when they've lost the plot.
I do think that there's a genuine foreign concern for our infrastructure in terms of it being open to attack, with the Chinese mole problem being basically fingered into every aspect of our fucking.
But was it done on purpose? That's the question.
It's an all fronts attack, dude. Like you're not wrong with the Chinese.
It's there. You know? Our
energy supply alone, right? Just keeping the lights on, not even taking anything else into account. The Chinese got a monopoly on it, dude. Yeah. Like it is an absolute race on all fronts. We're fighting against the pedos, the other countries, the fucking, you want to call them the people who aren't the pedos but are still involved, a certain small nation in the Middle East, the devil himself. Like it's every single group all at once fighting against us right now.
Risky, are you being anti-Northeast African right now?
Yeah, 100%. Sure. Yeah, go with it.
Everything on this show is for entertainment purposes only, as the ticker says on the bottom.
Yeah, that.
And,
the words have no meaning. It's like being called a racist in the 90s. Oh my God, you're a racist. Then you're homophobic. Oh, you're trans. These words have meaning for 6 months and then it's gone.
This is all an academic exercise anyway. So,
well, I was listening to some of Focus's live that he just had, and switching over, talking a little bit about Dugan's situation, was like mainly the lady didn't grant him to go home was because of bigotry or something.
We got to talk about that. I've been out of the loop for most of today, and it's like this thing's moving at the speed of light. Yeah. I saw something about lies, or they're bringing up what he said before, and they're holding him without bond. Like, what the fuck is going on with that?
Focus gave a very detailed, and I don't know if you can sum it up because of how much information you have.
So, I would love to.
I was in the court with him this morning, so I saw him in his oranges. I was there with Jonathan Picone, his wife, his mother and father.
Picone was there.
Well, Picone was there. Yep. So I was there with the family. Dugan was like 10 feet away from me, sitting down, you know, chained up in his Crocs and his prison oranges. Essentially, the offense did as much as they could to paint him as a liability to his own family and community, you know, saying like, oh, he had guns in the kids' room. He didn't. It wasn't the kids' room. He had guns here. It's like, well, they were locked up And it's like, okay, he had thousands of rounds of ammo. It's like,
Okay.
there's like 10,000 behind me. It's like, I'm just rolling the eyes back in my head, right? The destructive device that they're claiming he had was 3 separate components in 3 separate places. It was like wiring over here, what's ball bearings over there, and then some energetic vials up here. And they're like, that's a destructive device because you could put them all together, right? You could.
So it's like
and
the
then-
constructive intent garbage. Like
yeah,
that-
constructive intent, which is like, dude, like I have so many parts in my room right now. Like I could constructively and I could put
For sure.
together suppressors or SBRs or anything in my room, like right now with what I have in here. So it's
Yeah.
insane.
Right.
They could pull that on just about anybody who has any amount of material in their workshop. On top of that, at one point in one of Dugan's videos on Dugan Ashley 1337, he says something to the effect of, I put out this information. There is some risk involved, and I know that some people might misuse this information, right? And so that is that line, that just objective reality that people miss. Like if you teach somebody how to do an L-shape ambush, okay? You understand that there is the possibility that somebody can misuse that information or use that against somebody that you care about or use it in an evil way, right? We all understand that it's just objective reality. So the prosecuting attorney was like, see, he knew that by making these videos, he was aiding in terrorists. Therefore, he knowingly transmitted information in the furtherance of a crime.
You know why? Because 18 USC dot blah blah whatever specifically outlines intent. And if they can nail that down, then they'd be able to make at least one of the charges stick.
Well, and that's the thing. Proving intent is like
Good luck.
wild to me because the defense attorney did a good job. He was like, is there any direct communication between this guy and the terrorist that you've listed in the affidavit? No. Is there any communication? No. Is there any financial link? No. So what the guy did was, the terrorist, that is, the Shamshu Dinjabar or whatever the heck his name was, he
That's the guy from New Orleans, right? The one from
the New Orleans, the 125 guy who's now dead, conveniently, so you can't question him about any of this stuff. But he downloaded one of Dugan's videos and had it on his phone. Therefore, but I mean, it's weird because the videos that Dugan have like 20, 30,000 views on them, right? So,
bro, I've downloaded every single video he's made on multiple devices.
Well, you better not commit a crime, bro, because they're going to hold that against him, dog. All right, or else he's going to get another charge.
There's more footage of Dugan saying ridiculous things on my channel than there probably was on Booger Eater, Doug 1337, and Doug combined.
Meanwhile, a certain company is selling, and I'm cool with it, but meanwhile, a certain company is literally selling military grade clackers that are active ignition devices that you can buy right now.
Yeah.
And they're not, and I'm not saying they should be held alive. I think it should all be legal, right?
Right.
But these guys are selling ignition devices, and you're going to hold a fucking YouTuber accountable for some piece of shit's actions?
Well, just wait till someone, gets it.
Unreal.
I don't even want to say it, actually. Never mind.
Yeah,
I don't think
like if this is the standard. My concern is if this is the standard, everyone will be held liable for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I think that's the goal.
And I'll show you the crime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
What's the movie Minority Report?
The worst part about it, though, was at the end, both the prosecuting attorney arguing that Dugan should be denied bond and the judge's determination on denying him bond was anti-Semitism, bigotry, and hate speech. And I'm like, no violent history at all, member of the community,
veteran,
honorable service history, yep, all these positive attributes, never hurt anyone in his life other than he was commanded to by the U.S. government, right? No bond because he said mean words one time.
He criticized Israel.
I know.
He's guilty.
Yeah.
Fuck this. It's too much, man. Like, I know it's not apples to apples. I was friends with CRS Firearms, still am, right? When all that went down, and it's like, now this is going down. It's just so absurd. The shit is retarded. I'm so sick of this.
Yeah.
Hustle Bones said, Jews rock.
Yeah, they do. We love Jews here. We have nothing bad to say about Israel at all. They're fucking great. Suck their cocks. They're circumcised cocks.
I need to get a big Israeli flag and just put it behind me there and see if that protects my monetization, you know? So just put that
That's
behind
what
me.
You'd get farther with the AI. You would.
Hit the algorithm,
upload, bro.
I don't even.
Drop
I honestly
Israeli
feel
flags in the chat.
I
See if
feel
you can boost the
guilty
algorithm.
even laughing about how ridiculous the circumstance is, knowing my man's in fucking cuffs right now.
Yeah,
I know,
It's
bro.
really troubling. It really is. This shit's terrible.
He's such a genuine, just a good man, and he's got what, 4 kids?
He is quite literally the reason I started a YouTube channel.
Straight up,
100%.
yeah.
bro.
It was Dugan Ashley, the reason that I started it.
I'll be honest with y'all. I've been having to go through a bunch of stuff, selling guns and stuff to get cash, and I got one gun in my safe that I will never sell. You want to know what it is? It is the original J.C. Higgins shotgun that was used in the Ameriflage video that Dugan sent me. And it's a little $50 piece of crap. But the just historical gun tube, sentimental value, he sent man, oh man. It's such a shame.
The other thing that pisses me off is the misunderstanding of people that just see this at a glance and are like, yeah, he's guilty. He had bombs and shit.
That's what they're doing for CRS. They're like, well, you poked the bear hard enough. It's good, you know.
It's like, this is so much more than that. And just to dismiss it, like you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
I think honestly,
and you're destroying
I'm
a man's
optimistic.
family.
I'm optimistic. I think the defense it's going to be a slam dunk. You know what I'm saying? I think any fucking.
I'm concerned, dude. Anytime the word explosive is used and terrorism in the same sentence, and you're going up against the fucking federal government, man. This is serious shit.
If any of the evidence gets looked at objectively, it's going to be a very clear case of just like, are we going to believe the lie, or are we going to believe the real evidence that just shows it's like there was no explosive?
I mean, I hope so.
I think it's going to come.
There was no explosive. What are we doing here?
It's
there was
even
also
worse
no
than that,
machine
though.
gun in the CRS.
It's not.
You know,
it's not the federal government. It's not the judge. It's not the prosecutor. It's 12 retards who are going to be judging you, right?
Yep.
And I get 12 people that think like heckin' explosives are scary, okay? And that man over there, he said naughty words that one time. He's a heckin' anti-Semite.
He used the key word, the anti-Semite. Yeah. The key word of the day.
I'm the most scared of those 12 random people sitting in those chairs, okay? Because I was like, I saw the 12 chairs sitting over there on the side, and I'm like, that's the thing I've always been terrified of. Because you could have a slam dunk case, right? You could just dog walk the prosecutor all day, and 12 retards could be like, I don't like that guy.
But bombs. I mean,
there might be quite a few Steens on that jury too.
Yeah.
Everybody thought the same thing with the fucking Rittenhouse case, and that was like drawn out, yes, but at the end of the day, he fucking beat it. And I mean,
but that judge was cool though. That judge was cool.
True.
Our judge is starting off on a very bad foot. In my interpretation, is not good.
The ending that you outlined earlier is not good, based on what the final arguments were there, or not final arguments, but the closing for today.
Well, her reasoning for denying bail, denying
that's
bond
bad.
is,
And on the Rittenhouse case, talking about the judge and stuff like that, do you guys remember they were trying to basically extradite him to fucking Illinois to fucking pursue the case, where the judge absolutely would have fucking railroaded him. So the circumstances are different. They are. But I don't know. I'm staying in prayer, and I'm remaining optimistic for my boy.
You know, I don't care. I don't care what people think about this. I think the number one thing we have to do is pray for this dude.
Absolutely.
Because there's to John's point, like, you can't trust that these aren't a bunch of retards that are just going to fucking send him to the slammer. Like, we know he didn't do anything wrong, but it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Like, God has to intervene here. Yeah. That's the only thing it's going to say.
So me and Dark were kind of talking about it before the stream, and I kind of was going off a little bit of what Focus was saying But I think a lot of this is going to come down to what he was actually charged with, like marrying that with the evidence. Because if they didn't charge things properly, and he's only charged for this one destructive device, and that one destructive device is a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in the garage, that could be a great way out of it, right? But like if it's like has RDX sitting on a shelf or something like that, it's going to be a lot harder to get out of that kind of stuff. So I don't know, folks, if there was anything like that you saw, or if you know
Yeah,
the charges exactly. Or
They field tested the energetics there, and according to the FBI lady, they were able to get 18 different detonations or something or other. There is no definitive actual analysis of what exactly the compounds are yet, because they're still at the FBI headquarters, because this was only 2 days ago, right? So they don't have that yet.
I think a big thing to take into consideration for the average streamer or YouTuber or just person listening to this is, and I don't know this is all just off the top of my head, he probably had no idea he was being investigated for anything, right?
100%.
Like like they're pretty slick the way they're doing this, right? And they're looking at Dugan, and he has no idea. They're looking at all of us all the time.
Yeah,
they're
think about
here
how
right
much
now,
time has elapsed between what happened in Louisiana and the arrest of Dugan.
Bro,
5 months.
I'll tell you straight up.
Months.
No, wait.
I
this
thought it was
New Year's or last New Year's?
It was
New Year's
it was
2025.
This year's
this-
New
yeah,
Year's.
this year's
2025, last year New Year's.
Yo, check this out. I talked to an investigative journalist of the 2A space, and he had spoken with an attorney that knows some people, right? And they had said that they were on him since February.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Damn.
So we're talking
probably after they found that video in the guy's phone.
But the crazy thing though is like, okay, they also mentioned like he started uploading content based on this since 2023. Did that? I don't know. They could have been watching since day one and then started like, and then
the MO I get, and I think we all know who the only investigative journalist in the 2A space is. But regardless, I think the MO of the government is tie a phone to a phone, right? We come here, you did this, I get your phone. Anyone in your phone is a potential suspect, right? Because if they were watching him from day one and wanted to get him, they would have got him.
Right.
I don't think, and there's too many things going on, right? There's only so many FBI agents watching stuff like this, right? I think you have to be tied to this, or you have to get a specific complaint. And that's the other scary thing. It's like anybody can pull up YouTube and watch the stuff. So you get one motherfucker who doesn't like you, who makes a complaint, then maybe you're on their radar, right? But God forbid, and I've made them before. I mean, at this point, I'm almost thankful my shit's been deleted, but they look up one video I talk about to the point of the L-shaped ambush. I've literally made like 5 or 10 videos about that. What's going to happen when they come for me and say, you fucking talked about something that's in an army manual, but it was on this guy's phone, so now you're going to prison. Oh yeah, you're anti-Semitic.
Well, and then like a year later, let's say you were doing a schizo rant and you were like, we should do X, Y, and Z and take something. Because I'll tell you what, I've said things where I've looked back and been like, dang, I probably
we all have
said that.
Everybody, anyone who's made videos for any extended amount of time has said something, whether you review it and think it's cringe or like you're worried about it or not. Like we've all said something that could be manipulated
for sure
to get you if they want to get you.
Yeah.
And that's the problem of having the full force of the government coming down on you.
I have a theory though, personally.
And retards that are juries.
Yes, I'm concerned about that. My personal theory is if you were to look at the dates of the videos of particular videos, it seems like they may have started paying attention when he did videos on storage and plasticizers. And that definitely would garner some attention.
They did bring up plasticizers during the hearing this morning, but it was a very short thing that they were I forget exactly what the context was for that.
Bro, I thought all of the. I'm sorry, you were supposed to be telling us the whole thing, and we're totally.
No. That was. I just hit the highlights of it. I mean, if you want more details, I can give you more details on something. But that was
I'm
very
curious.
small.
I mean, let's be real though. Doog is a smart guy, right?
Oh yeah.
He's more in the weed. He's in the weeds with this, like we're in the weeds with other dumb shit that doesn't matter. But I don't think. I could be wrong. I don't think he's putting out shit that's not that a chemist with a basic understanding of energetics and an old army manual from 1967 couldn't put out, and it's all publicly available.
This
right?
is publicly available information.
Yeah, all of
the stuff
it
that
is.
he's posting.
Yeah.
If you can read and have the attention span, you could find this information. 100%.
I literally have 3 or 4 army manuals on my desk right now.
Yeah,
that have shit in there that it's like
improvised munitions and
I have that one. Yep. I literally have that one.
Excellent.
Do not read that in audiobook format. Do not read that.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh God. But I bought it on Amazon, but it's okay because it came from fucking Bezos. And
Take soil, strain, you'll develop. Yeah, sorry. You can
put this into a format that's easily digestible, you criminal. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us operated off of the general idea of energetics are legal as long as you use them for non-commercial usage on your own, and you consume all of them on your own property, and you don't store them or transport them. And I think a lot of us were thinking of that in this type of space with videos and content being created and testing and all that.
There's a lot of channels that, I mean, Duke's not the only channel that has put out information like that.
However, after all this came up, and that's what I was on. I'm sitting here talking about stuff on my channel, and I'm like, clearly maybe made some mistakes, but because that's the idea that I was operating under, that's what I believed, and it even says it on the ATF website and the DOJ website. The difference is that's regarding things like smokeless powder, tannerite. If you pull up the penal codes, it literally says all of these high explosives are completely illegal to make, possess, test, use for commercial, non-commercial, for anything. When I read that, I was like, what? I had no idea. And I think a lot of people are operating, probably a bunch of those channels, I think a lot of people are operating under that understanding that it's fine as long as I don't store it or transport it or whatever.
Well, but even that's interesting though, right? Because he's not arrested. He's not charged with possession. It is merely the manufacturer without a license for business.
So hold on, I thought he was caught storing.
Yeah, well, there are energetic primary and secondaries, right? Whatever that means in explosive terms. That were there were little vials there of stuff, right? That they're currently in testing. But what he's actually charged with is the operating a explosives manufacturing without a license, right? That's a 10-year charge, right? It's like operating selling guns without an FFL when you're supposed to have an FFL. So that's what he's actually charged with currently. There could be an additional charge later on.
Are they using the notion that he broke it and he's doing this commercially because he's making, I don't know if he's monetized or not, but like because of the YouTube stuff?
Right. So they lied about the amount of money he was making. So they over the course of like 2 or 3 years of doing this, he made $3,000. Sorry. In court today, they claimed he made $3,000 a month. So they're claiming it was like 40% of his income or something like that, which is just not the case. Over the entire like 3-year process, he made about $3,000 related to videos from Ko-Fi, Patreon, Subscribestar, and I don't know if his channel was monetized, but the total amount is $3,000. They said $3,000 a month, but because he blows stuff up on videos, that is now that is a commercial use. It's no longer private use because somebody over here gives you money for video, right? Video of explosive. The explosive is the part of the video. So they're claiming that, well, actually that is commercial manufacture because you're getting paid like $75 a month to do it.
But see, that was like, just people contributing.
I know it's like the most technicality.
It's very
BS
weird
thing.
I was looking into the same thing with filming with a drone, and I saw the legalities of getting dinged possibly because I don't have a fucking operator's license.
I have drone footage on monetized videos. It's like I am I not kosher with the FFA? Like what's
kosher?
Yeah.
So the shit's also tiresome, man. Like we live in motherfucking America. Yeah. And we got a veteran, a distinguished veteran making videos on energetics. Chemistry. Big fucking deal. We got videos of people telling you how to make nukes. They literally tell you how to make nukes on video on thousands of YouTube channels. And they get this guy and they want to hold him without bond because he said something against a small country in the Middle East. If he said shit about his own government, no big deal. It's so I'm so sick of the I'm going to lose my shit. I'm fucking sick of this pedophile Israeli-owned bullshit. It's disgusting. The whole fucking thing is disgusting. It makes me want to rage the fuck out. I'm going to have to stop because the FBI is going to fucking knock on my door if I keep going, right? They got Dug. It's just shit is so unbelievably ridiculous. It hits so close to home, it's not even fucking funny. They're ruining this guy's fucking entire life, his whole family over bullshit. That's our own government.
Yep.
They're doing that to their own people. It's disgusting.
For a long time, dude.
Yeah.
I honestly, bro, I talk to Dark about this a lot, and anybody that I talk to, it's just, knowing
exhausting level.
Yeah, like knowing who we are dealing with. Like we all got to operate on a different level. We got to move differently. We got to formulate the way we structure our lives differently. It's a massive sacrifice to have to do that, but we got to operate as wise as serpents and gentle as doves, as it says in scripture. And I for my end, I keep it to, like, even now when I did the rebrand of the name, I'm like, dude, tonight is an exception because we have a lot of stuff going on. We have great guests on the panel. Appreciate you guys coming on. But like, I'm going to gear a lot of my content just towards like a little bit of what Oji does is just firearms content, product reviews, like limiting my opinion because I've been demonetized for over a year. And that was back talking about all the other stuff that we were dealing with just 6 years ago. So it's never going to stop. There's only two things that happen. You either operate differently or you stop it. And the you stopping it part is the 1775 moment. But I mean,
but even that is like,
we know who we're dealing with. We're dealing with
provide so much to the world and to all these people and give, information like on preparedness and like we want your opinion. Most of the people that are here in chat are here to listen to your take, and then people connect with you and they're like, yo, I got the same outlook. I don't think we should hold back for real. I mean, I think that this is the time when we need to stand up to determine if we do need to elevate to different levels.
I think
let's be real. Let's be real. The point of all of this is not a witch hunt against him. It's so that they can lump anyone who's a dissenter in the same category and send them to prison and cull them for life. It's because they're doing shit that's so bad. People are going to rise up against the government, and they want an excuse to take anyone who has a voice, who motivates or teaches or helps in any way. They want to cull them, and they need landmark cases, and they need people to get frustrated to the point where they outbreak and they do shit against the government, so then they can have mass fucking arrests, and they can start raiding people's houses that are influential and stop it dead in its tracks. Let's be real. That's what this is. And it has been for quite some time. And it's not slowing down because nobody on the Epstein list is fucking arrested. Yeah, and we're run by pedophiles who are being blackmailed by Israel, and they will do anything and they will burn the world down before they admit to what they've done. and they are owned. Our entire fucking government is owned.
Yeah.
And this will continue. It will get worse before it gets worse. And then it's going to get even fucking way worse. And we're going to have to fucking stay strong and just deal with this. And we're going to have to be smarter about how we approach things to avoid this. But I don't want to say it's inevitable. I'm not trying to be a doomer. We have to get smarter in how we approach it because they're going to crack down even harder. And the people will rise up and they will crack down even harder on us because we have even the smallest voice among peasants.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We talked about that a little bit during our stream. Risky was this isn't gonna this what we have here isn't gonna last forever. This is something that is absolutely in conflict with the status quo and the projection that the powers that be want. You know what I mean? The fact that we can have open discussion and share legal and moral information with one another and have a say in the narrative is something that they seek to destroy, that they seek to stop, to snuff out and silence by any means necessary. And unfortunately, we're seeing a fucking very real and very close to home example of that right fucking now.
The thing
I have no problem being a doomer and like also maintaining a high level of faith that like, bro, if you chop my head off, I know where I'm going. I have a high level of confidence in my savior, but it's way past, bro. If you gave England the level of technology that we're talking about that they got, then we wouldn't have this place, right? We got America by the skin of our teeth. And then right after we got it, they already started infiltrating it other ways. So
the only thing holding them back right now is the amount of guns we have. And people don't like that because they want to say, oh man, there's nothing you can do with guns, right? Again, for the fucking federal government watching this, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Chill the fuck out.
No one wants any conflict. Like
what I'm saying is the reason all of us haven't been culled already is because the local SWAT teams can't logistically get blown away every 5 doors, right?
Yep.
They can't do it. They can't, it's not logistically feasible. The one thing they haven't prepared for, and maybe they think they have, and maybe it works in the short term, is God is on our side. Christ is king. And it's not like we're doing this for nefarious purposes. And we're not talking about being prepared to keep your family safe because we're trying to overthrow the government, right? That time hasn't come yet. As much as a lot of us want the government to be overthrown because it's run by pedophiles, that's not what we're advocating for. And we make it blatantly clear through disclaimers in our videos. We all do it. We're not trying to get people to go and just kill innocents and anything. Like, none of us want that. That's not what our goal is. We want to persevere through whatever bullshit is being thrown against us. And they might be able to take a few of us down. They might be able to take most of us down. But God's on our side. God wins in the end. We win in the end.
That's right.
And they can't prepare for that. It's impossible for them to prepare for that.
That's
and I think
they actively work
all the
against
people listening to this, I'm not trying to make a ministry out of it. I am the worst person to talk about that. But you got to get right with the Lord. You have to. That is the only way to win.
Yo, Risky. So was Moses, and so was David, and so was Solomon, and so was a lot of people who wrote down great things. So,
he don't call the qualifies. He don't call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
Amen to that, bro. Paul was he was a
mass murderer.
He was
mass murderer,
killing Christians, bro. You know, honestly, man, when I think about this, and it's super easy to get blackpilled, especially when you have like access to the amount of information. Like when you do this as often as you do, like I'm saying, like people that have channels. it's so easy to get blackpilled and have this like negative attitude. And I think having a relationship with Christ does have a big impact on that. The thing that like constantly gets to me though is the size of our government currently, the amount of overreach, the level of tech and weaponry that they have. If you're a defector, they're or not defector. If you're, whatever, what was the word that you used?
Dissident.
Risky, dissident. Yeah. If you're a dissident, then they could just send a chopper and a drone to you and bam, blow you out of your boots right away. I'm like, what were our parents and grandparents doing when like this didn't exist, right? Like there was a time when the biggest job that the FBI had was literally going and hunting communists and locking them up, right? Like where did the change? And even that stuff was fake and gay too.
I mean, you look all the way back to like just Ruby Ridge and stuff, right? Like that's long enough ago.
Yeah, the change is the internet. We all have mass information. We understand history now to a point where they can't stop it, and they probably wish they could stop it. And the wild thing is, DARPA fucking knew all this would happen decades before it did, and they let it happen. So it's a trap. The whole thing's a fucking trap. Give you the information, let you explore it, let you speak out, and then track you and map you the whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, but you
at the end of the day, like, what are you going to do?
Algorithms. How many people's algorithms are so vastly different than like ours, right? Like you got to think something. The majority of people are eating the crap that they want them to eat 24 hours a day.
I'm going to be real with you, and this is where I don't want to say I'm hopeful. It's an interesting thought, right? And I think I spoke about this on. Maybe on OG's video. I don't remember when I did. Years ago, when I started my YouTube channel, I was kicking people out of my telegrams. I had a telegram chat with 5,700 people in it. And you say anti-Semitic shit, you're gone. Nazis are out, right? That was my thought. I was fucking normie to the max in that regard. Then I started kind of realizing what was going on. And I said, oh, fuck, I've made a mistake, right? I kind of realized where these people are coming from. I see the influence in our own government and what's really happening. And I kind of came to the light. And I had a conversation with a guy who frequented my YouTube channel. And he helped me brainstorm for videos, a good buddy of mine. And we thought about it and we said, we're aware of this small country in the Middle East that has so much control. And the worst thing you can be called right now is anti-Semite. You'll get fired from your job. You'll lose your bank accounts. Worst thing ever. It's going to be 10 or 15 years minimum before people start to catch on. 2 years later, everybody's fucking caught on.
Yep.
It happened out of all the predictions I made on my YouTube channel. A vast majority of them, we were too soon. We jumped the gun. It would happen later on. The only thing that we were wrong about was how it relates to that little country in the Middle East. Everyone, I don't want to say everyone, so many people now are on to what's going on. And that gets my gears going of this is progressing faster than previously expected. They're going to have to make moves faster than they maybe thought they would, or maybe they knew. Maybe the Palantirs and the fucking DARPAs and all this, maybe they knew this.
Maybe it was part of the plan. Maybe,
but this, I feel like we
calculated.
This has happened faster than I thought it would. Right,
dude,
so that gives me hope. And I'm almost, I don't want to say maybe I am an accelerationist. I think the shit's inevitable.
I think all of us have kind of
let it fucking happen, because I don't want it. I have small children. I don't want it to happen in the next, I don't want them to deal with
15 years from now.
I don't want them to deal with it.
It doesn't have to be them. Yeah,
exactly. Because I don't want to be, gone and not being able to protect them or to guide them or be with my wife, when she's old. I don't think that's going to happen. And maybe, I feel like every generation before us has been like, this is the end times, right? Like all that bullshit you heard growing up.
Always. Yeah.
But I really feel like we're on the precipice of something big. I don't know what it is. I would just be guessing if I were to tell you what I thought could happen. I don't know. I don't know any more than y'all. But I feel like we're progressing very quickly towards some sort of event.
The slipping
And I
point.
feel like they know it. The singularity, if you will.
They've been planning for it. Like, bro, we have these conversations, and you were talking about it earlier, of wargaming the war game of the war game over and over and over again, different scenarios. Bro, they've had AI doing that on their end over the amount of calculation they've had on that people like us would exist. They also are manipulating that algorithm enough to change those ones that are on the fence. They've done it in elections. They do it in every aspect of information, of like just quietly shifting over and numbing enough of them that they have the compliance factor to a degree of like, we already know that the dissenters, unless they are like, hey, we're all moving to this location, and even then that's when our own personal Armageddon would happen if we all did that. But
well, it's
enough.
real because there are individuals that are obvious insiders that have now turned against that small country, right? Like you can see it. You can see the people who are placating to the far right. It's obvious. Like on
did
the
you
internet.
did you guys see that what's her name, who is the director of national intelligence right now, the female who ran for president, Tulsi? Did you see that they had a whole thing going back and forth about raiding her house and taking the JFK files and the MLK
CIA?
stuff? Yeah, that the CIA raided her office, and now it's like no one can verify it.
Well, it's so interesting because like I think it's fake and gay, and I simultaneously believe it because it implicates certain types of people, and I could see why they would hide that. And the other part of me is like, what a great distraction. But it's not. The other thing is like it's not a huge distraction. Like it's not catching as much as you would think it would, right? So part of me thinks it's real, which is almost laughable because you could expect that, right? Like, oh, you're going to find out the truth behind JFK. We all know the fucking truth behind JFK.
Oh yeah.
Which is why it's not being released, which is why it probably was stolen.
And MLK.
And 9/11. And everything else.
In Oklahoma. And you know what honestly like was like a slap in the face and just blew me away when the acceleration of the whole Northeast African regime moving in this country. I started noticing people that were more conservative, that were followers of Christ, or say they're followers of Christ, that like I'd be watching the show or watching, dude, I'd watch like something just religious podcast or whatever. People started like referring to themselves as Christian Zionists, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like, oh well, that just means that you believe that they have a right to exist. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Do you understand what you're saying? And because now, if you say
did the Canaanites have a right to exist? Did everyone pre-flood have a right to exist?
This is the same thing. Think of BLM. If you say you're not down with BLM, then you don't believe Black Lives Matter, you race it, right? So now it's like if you're a follower of Christ and you don't say that you're a Christian Zionist, you don't believe they have a right to exist. Right, so you see
it's an attempt to muddy the waters.
Yeah,
and it's bullshit.
You should ask them what a right is and watch them flounder for like 5 minutes trying to define what a right is.
It's all word salad bullshit, right? Anyone who's getting caught up in the Zionist Jew Israel like differences, I write them off. Like, okay, you're a retard.
Yeah.
I also live in the land of make believe.
It is oddly aligning with scripture at this weird part of our lives. Like honestly, I'm gonna tell you one thing that we should all be grateful for that we're all actually not 15 years older than we are, and that this is right now, and we're all fairly capable. And yeah, we have other things that we could be like, man, I wish this wasn't that way. But you know, when you have a lot of faith, man, like we all talk about, it's just you know, we got to seize every opportunity we can, whether it's martyrdom or whether it's to protect others, whether it's to provide, whatever it is, you know, God has got a path for all of us. And I think that we have a lot of capable people in this community, whether it's in chat, whether it's on the panel, like there's still always positives to look at. And like, we could go on the directions of Israel and the government. It's like, at the end of the day, we know who sits at the top of the mountain, right? Who took Christ to the top of the mountain, told him that all the kingdoms were his. So none of it should shock us. The speed of it, I think that we've also increased our speed of readiness, preparedness, you know, the way we talk to people.
I agree. I believe that. I just
the resurgence of Christianity and modern culture is like, it's I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen so many people come to faith in recent history. You know what I'm saying? Like younger generations, you know, people of different backgrounds and stuff like that, conversions. I mean, there was in fucking Iran, of all places, like they had billboards up because like over 300,000 people were having dreams of Jesus Christ. Yeah, in fucking Iran, where there's billboards that were just like, if you've seen this man in your dreams, like call this number, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
I love it. It is absolutely a change in society worldwide, right? Just like I see, y'all probably see it on Twitter, right? Like the ads, like this is the lowest amount of people drinking in 90 years, right? Something like that. And I directly correlate it to men wanting to be Christian men again and leading their families, not watching pornography, not getting shithouse drunk, not chasing hoes, standing up for themselves, using, as ridiculous as it sounds, just using nicotine again, not smoking weed, but smoking cigarettes or using nicotine, right? Getting their head right in the game. And just to see this resurgence of Christ following leaders of men, I love it. I absolutely love it. And this, when I started YouTube, and not to make it about me, it's not about me. I wanted to move the lowest level of viewer up a notch, because when I first started, it was a screen and there'd be a layout of like a loadout, right? This is my SHTF loadout, and to be like a fucking plate carrier or something like that. Here's why I have this. Here's why I always carry a 22 rifle and a 9mm handgun and a 12 gauge shotgun and an AR-15, right? And I was like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. This is ridiculous. And I would see videos of like, here's my ruck loadout, and I'm like, you don't have any land nav stuff. Like, what are you doing? And so I was like, I'll make some videos and get people up a notch. And then I thought, well, what's the point of these videos? Like, for one, I liked watching them, but there was something lacking. And the lacking was the realistic, real life exploitation of the gear they were using. And I would watch these and they'd have 10, 15, 20, 100,000 views on them. And it's like, you're missing the most critical stuff that like every regular infantryman would carry. And not like a bayonet, not like this old geezer shit, but like
zero sustainment.
Yeah. Like you need more water, dog. You need to have maps laminated in advance. You need to have a protractor and a compass, shit like that. And my whole point of making the videos was, let's take the average consumer of these videos and let's get him to as close to a base level infantryman as possible. And then he can start thinking about the cool shit and everything else operationally. Because if he can't survive as a civilian version of an infantryman, none of this other shit matters. he's not going to be able to get to where he wants to go, to do the fighting he thinks he's going to do. Right. And I feel like in my short time on YouTube, we moved not only there, but way past there.
For sure.
And that's a win. And you combine that with the average viewer of GunTube is, I don't want to say very close. I think the physical fitness is probably the biggest difference. They're very close to a base level infantryman, minus the physical fitness. I don't think the viewers prepared for the level of physical fitness, right? I don't think they get that. Because it's serious.
I think that's the most important fact. Yeah.
And it's the not sexy part. But like, I'm going to be honest with you. And here's something for the average viewer, right? My 2-mile time when I was in the Army was 10:15.
Disgusting.
And I've thrown up multiple times on objective because of how exhausted I was getting to the objective. And that's where my cardio was at, right? I could fly. We would do multiple runs. I would do this every other week, 9 miles at a 7-minute mile pace. That was our Friday run. And I was vomiting on the objective because of how exhausted I was, right? Just assaulting through the objective. So if that's me doing this professionally as a 19-year-old, right? The average 35-year-old viewer, bro, and I'm talking to myself too, because I'm old at this point. You got some work to do, right? But minus that physical fitness factor, I feel like the average viewer has gone up a few notches. And if we can combine this trust in Christ and this striving to be more like Christ with this knowledge, there's a small gap now between what people know and what they're capable of and what else they need to know. The only other shit they need to know is the shit that we all get arrested for saying, right? The shit that we're not ever going to be able to say online. So they have to come to that conclusion themselves. Right? So we need to be able to prompt them to find this information or come to these conclusions on their own without actually saying the shit. And then once we do that, there's almost literally, besides new product reviews, there's really not much more for GunTube to do.
Well, that leads.
No, I've been way more focused
on Desert
fitness.
Institute. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
And now to our sponsor.
Ain't no sponsors over here.
Yeah.
Only sponsors of this channel are
point about
chat
cardio
members.
being the thing that is not exciting to do. It's a lot like dry fire. You know, it's not flashy. You're not recording it. You know, it's not going to be posted to the gram and look really slick, but you do it every day anyways. It's just like that. Cardio,
You should record some dry fire though. It'll help.
I mean, you can, but it's not like the hot thing. You know, mag dumping into trash is way sexier. But yeah, your dry fire every day, your cardio every day. Two things you can't go without. All right.
The dry fire every day is huge. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I meet people and they have so many cool guns and they don't dry fire at all. And it's like, that is the...
I've met guys that have hundreds of guns and don't even have one on them when we go somewhere.
Right. Like bridging that gap of wasting money on ammo and still being proficient. Like, you can get your draw down. You can find the dot immediately every time 100% if you dry fire. That doesn't require a range.
Dude, I got one of those little cheap $20 laser cartridges on like eBay, and there's apps you can use like in with them. But if you set up a little silhouette, and just each day, even if it's just for like
light switches,
bro, I've killed every plug, light switch, door hinge, every single thing I could aim at in my whole home. But
light switches and outlets are the key.
For sure.
Right. Are the key.
But
yep.
That, in addition to like a shooter's global timer, bro, where you can actually, it picks up the dry fire clicks, dude, game changer. And whether you're doing from concealment or from, a gun belt, pistol belt, duty belt, whatever you want to call it, bro, it's a game changer, man.
I would say this too, and this actually does come from me watching a lot of like other professional shooters dry fire. Is like it doesn't just have to be stagnant either. Like if you can't get to the range, dude, you could run, take a knee, go prone. Like you could get a massive workout, massive because you don't have to go and reload at a table. You don't have to take the time and take breaks. You could do a cardio session of dry fire for 45 minutes without taking a break, and that could be your cardio.
30 minutes.
But people, you like you
30 minutes of dry
Go ahead,
fire
Phil.
is equivalent to a couple hours on the range if you're doing it right. So like I have this room, I have my shop where I can do pistol and rifle and movement and all that sort of fun stuff. Like, but to DLD's point, like you don't even need a shot timer. Like I made it to GM and USPSA. I don't own a shot timer. It's just
what?
fact, you know?
What?
Yeah.
No.
You're GM?
Yes, I'm a GM in Carry Optics.
Hell yeah.
USPSA. But the only time I hear a shot timer is at the range, is in a match. I don't train with one. I don't own one.
That's crazy work.
That's just you just go fast. Okay, you go fast, and fast is fast. All right.
That's a good point. If you're just
but I think if you added a shot timer to your own personal range training, I think you would even see.
He knows his numbers. I saw him in chat. 0.7 is the fastest.
Literally. So I have the third highest hit factor of all time on 0603, the classifier. And it's like, if I added a shot timer, am I going to somehow magically get like even faster? I'm already the third fastest of all time on that specific classifier in my division.
But
So
what
it's
if
like,
you were
maybe you'll be first?
Maybe.
See,
Yeah.
my biggest concern.
Probably just do it again and get a little bit faster, because I mean, there's always just that little bit of margin of error.
Well, I think sometimes with the shot timer is like if you're gonna put on like your battle gear and you're not wearing like competitive equipment because it's set up somewhat differently, that's when you put that pressure on you, like in a course or with your buddies on a shot timer, you find out like, okay, when I do try to go fast, I'm fumbling this, I'm fumbling that. Now when I have changed this, you get like a confirmation with the shot timer saying, well, I have picked up.
I don't think a shot timer is bad.
2 seconds here.
But I'm just saying, like, even without a shot timer, like the amount of work and value
you don't
get out
need
of
one
just
for
dry
sure.
fire. But I dry fire every day, like every day, movement, static, everything. You know,
Just make sure you guys out there take a note. FousbTripp said that shot timers are gay. So
that is exactly what I said. Yes,
verbatim.
Bro, I've seen competitive shooters. Their entire garage is set up like a run, like a stage.
Yep, 100%. Well, I mean that's what I have, because I have like, you know, cars and targets everywhere, so you can run it different ways and pretend like, you know, set up all sorts of different scenarios and stuff, and that's what you do. You run around in your garage and look like an idiot for 30 minutes. It's great.
I've been dry firing my SP5K this entire time.
Oh, bro.
We've been talking in my garage.
Gentlemen, I've actually got to go crash. I think I have more work to do tomorrow, so I am going to get out of here. But thank you very much for having me on, Nomad Remnant. I shouted you out in my stream and dropped your link for everybody. So I appreciate having me on, sir. And to the rest of the panel, thank you all very much. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Hey,
have a good one. Thanks for your insight.
I'd love to have you on the show one time. I'll get a hold of you sometime.
Yeah, hit me up. We'll do.
All right, cool. Hey, I like that little arrangement there.
That looks cool.
Yeah, the 4 square.
I will say for folks that don't want to drop, you know, a couple $100, few $100, one of my viewers, Drew out there, love you, bud. He actually sent me a shot timer too. Like, he's awesome. But initially what I did was I downloaded a free shot timer app, and though it won't clock your exact time, you can set up a par time. So
split time, par time.
Yeah, exactly. So you can at least kind of like start doing it, start to improve, know that you're under like 1 second par time or whatever, 1.5 second, and then as you kind of grow and improve and get better, then you can get a shot timer later or throw down with, you know.
I mean, even filming yourself is huge. Like if you have a video, everyone has a video camera, right? So like you put a little pressure on yourself because you're like, I'm actually recording what I'm doing. So like, I'm going to have to watch this back. So you get that slight bit of pressure, like as if somebody's behind you at the range and you're kind of competing. Now you're competing against yourself and you can see yourself. But you can diagnose things really well when it's on camera. I mean, in general, if you don't have someone who's like there pointing out, hey man, you should try this. You can play with your own mechanisms like always keep your fundamentals, but you can diagnose some of the things that are. Go ahead, OG. You about to say something?
Yeah. I was gonna say fucking the like the amount of like learning and fucking new stimuli associated with fucking competition shooting, like that shit honestly is gonna like upgrade your fucking shooting game 110% in my opinion. I think it's like unmatched in terms of your skill development, your hard skill development. I fucking I shot my first competition like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Fucking I thought I was gonna go in there, be loosey goosey. Fucking dude, the nerves were fucking killing me. And yeah, no, that new type of stimuli to train around and shit like that, and new types of standards and shit, really it's just focusing on hard skills, and it 110% applies in my opinion to the high speed tactical fucking prepper bullshit that we do. You know what I mean?
It's probably one of the few things that can get you to go as fast as you can.
Right.
Because like even on the range, when you're like, do this as fast as you can, there's still this like slight lax, but you know that you're in a competition on a clock.
Right. With an unfamiliar fucking course of fire, unfamiliar fucking environment, you know.
Well, let's be
totally
real.
different.
Most guys don't ever push themselves to the max
No.
when they're by themselves or with their best friends.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they go to the range, they confirm their zero, they fuck around, they drink a few beers, or they just have some fun, and that's it. I mean, most of my range trips are not let's race and do this, right? Some of them are, but most of them are not. It's let's have fun, let's shoot these sort of things, let's go out to distance, let's put this over there and shoot that, let's shoot up close real fast, but it's not necessarily a timed race. So any time you go out and you don't even have to have a shot timer. Like a shot I agree a shot timer is great, but like just go out and push yourself to the max, right? And then the key is and this is mainly for the new people listening, once you see your accuracy degrading, you realize, okay, I need to reel it in a little bit. Or and that depends on the level of accuracy degradation, right? So if you're still within those A zone targets, or you're hitting headshots, or you don't even have to have the legit targets with the A zone, right? But you're somewhat center mass or in the face, you're good, right? But if you're hitting shoulders and pelvises and shit like that, slow it down a little bit, see where you're at, and then shoot at that speed repetitiously until you can bump it up a notch or two, right? And then bump it up until you see that degradation of accuracy, and shoot at that speed until you're comfortable. And a lot of this goes back to that dry fire, because most of the time it's either on that first shot or it's on when you're going fast, and it's repeated shots. And the one thing you can do with yourself is that dry fire is that first shot.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that.
Yep.
Dude,
and after the reload, I mean, you change your grip. You change grip on the pistol after the reload, depending on your hand size and stuff. Some people don't have to. Some people do have to. You know, can you, like when you reload a rifle, can you get it back on target and have it square and have your dot, and that kind of stuff is really good to. They're just basic fundamentals of like, can you shoot out a sticky as slow as you want to? And if you can't do that slow, then you need to start slow, right? But like, because if you have no fundamental slow, you're not gonna have any fast.
I think a great YouTube channel to watch to get faster is Instructor Zero. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Oh, God.
You know, I think Nick,
Put your hands in
I
ice.
haven't seen this. Let me see.
Put your hands in ice. You're just making
Do not do that. I was joking. That was a joke.
That sounds a lot like the conversation between Matt Pranka and
Oh yeah,
Travis Haley. Did you remember that stream with Travis Haley, Pranka?
dude, am I the only one that Red Dawn is cutting out for? I'm sorry, that Nomad is cutting out for.
I feel
No,
like it's cutting out on my end, but
Okay.
I didn't know if it was my AirPods.
My bad. It's just like every like sentence.
It's like a clicking sort of duh, 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 duh.
Dude,
This is Instructor Zero, the old guy.
Nick CS5YC nailed it. He said, "You want to shoot better, be sleep deprived, hungry, thirsty, wet, cold for at least 24 hours with continuous O courses, patrolling, hone your skills under these conditions. You will be much better." That's another thing. Like when we go shooting, like with our buddies, or even if you go solo, we usually do what we know we are already highly skilled at, because it's like, ooh, that makes me feel good.
And the ego stroke.
Yeah, right. And like Risky said, like,
and we
push
all do
yourself.
it though.
Yeah,
we all do it.
You want to see me hit
This
this?
is training, believe it or not.
Yeah, right. You want to see me hit this silhouette with my Glock at 100 yards?
Yeah.
Ding! Yeah.
Like the trick is whatever you're uncomfortable with or you're not good at, that's what you should be doing
Oh yeah,
all the
for
time.
sure.
Yeah.
That's why I think fucking comps are so fucking goated, dude, because it's just like you're not gonna be familiar with it. You're not gonna be comfortable with it, you know. And I
That's a great
was
point.
gonna bring this up earlier. Fucking that was I had an absolutely opposite issue that what Risky was describing, where it's like, you know, you're going fast and you're not hitting those fucking alphas and shit like that. I had really fucking good accuracy in my competition, but I was not going fast enough. Like I was not fucking pushing myself. And it was described to me by somebody, a friend of mine, Lucas, fucking, he was like, if you're not hitting Charlies, you're not going fast enough. He's like, you need to fucking step it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Fucking, and it's like, yeah, that's a good point. Like obviously there's a threshold to that. You know what I mean? You don't want to be all over the place like you described, Risky, but fucking definitely fucking push yourself. You know what I mean? Fucking get out of your comfort zone.
Gene Lenmings commented, and I agree with this. Doing things exhausted is not a way to gain skill. He's right. It's a way to test your skill.
It's a way to test skill.
And it's a way to
you're gonna gain that skill through repetition.
Yeah.
And once you gain that repetition, you can do it comfortably, then you test it when you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you're cold, when you're sleep deprived, all that. Right.
Yeah.
So don't be going out and doing some stress shoot on something you've never done before.
Right.
Not only are you going to suck, you're going to really fucking
you're going to
suck.
build up to. That type of stuff just knocks you down to your lowest level of proficiency.
Yeah. If you're going to do something where you're tired, low sleep, cold, hungry, that whatever that execution process is, whatever that that test is you're testing yourself on, you should be very proficient at that, be able to do it in your sleep, and then go out and do it at the end of a field exercise or something like that. But what we're talking about is get yourself those reps in. And that's kind of, I can't stress the dry fire enough. Obviously, you limit yourself in what you can and can't do, right? You're not going to be able to do rapid follow-up shots with dry fire unless you have some sort of device or mechanism with your gun that you're using, right?
Like
but the traditional empty gun, you only get the first shot click in like a striker fired pistol, like a Glock or whatever, right?
Even if you can do rapid fire with, like, I have one of the, what is it called? The one you put in the rifle with the bolt carrier group.
The Mantis.
The Mantis.
Even
if you can.
Bro?
Yeah. I got the Blackbeard X.
Yeah,
I have one. But dude, there's no recoil. So like, yeah, you could stand there and hold your gun and do this with your finger, but it's not the same as seeing it on a target on a sheet of paper. It's still decent, but that first shot, it's more the fundamentals. Like, can you present the rifle and you have your dot every time? Do you know exactly where it goes in your shoulder, exactly where your cheek is going every single time? Is your stance right? Are you ready to handle recoil? Because you could dry fire till you're blue in the face, and then when you go under recoil, you're like, well, why is like my first shot's there and then everything else goes like this? That's fundamentals that get you on track.
Dry fire is supplemental. It isn't in place of, right? So like I haven't been to the range in months, and you know, I'm feeling it, and I've still been dry firing constantly. I can't stop dry firing. The only reason I'm not right now is because I have a mic right in front of my face. And Risky, he's got the move. That's why he's going video off. So if y'all hear a bunch of clicking, if I turn my screen off.
I've been doing it too. I've been sitting here.
Bro, I got the AP5 SD right there with the Hoffman Super Safety.
Allegedly.
I just keep my face off the screen because I have this huge growth on the side of my mouth. It kind of looks like a herpes thing, and it's also like I have an alien just mutated on the side of my face. I'm real ugly. You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I have been doing, and you can split that up, right? So like OG was talking about going fast if you don't have the skill. Risky was talking about, you guys were talking about it, but I've been doing days where I can't make it to the gym. I'll work out in my garage, and then when I'm at my most exhausted point, I'll take my Constantine belt, put my concealed carry on, and I'll start dry firing when I'm like have a pump, am a little bit winded, and just trying to maximize that dry fire. So it's not like you are super relaxed and you're like, dude, I'm so chill. I just want to hang out and put on Lord of the Rings and dry fire. You know what I mean? Like you don't want it. You want to do some level of some kind of urgency into how you feel, because it's so hard to simulate that.
Bro, one thing you could do, like I'm still on my journey to, continue working on my fitness. And I was like 308 pounds and I'm down to about 270. So I'm still working on it, right? But one thing, if you really want to kick your backside, and I'm working on not cursing, and get dry fire in, then take your rifle, sling it up. You could put your gun belt on if you want to, and I think Red Dawn, I think you and I talked about this, and basically start whatever, high ready, low ready, patrol, however you're starting, start, and then drop to a knee, and then, charge your gun again to get, a hot trigger, and then down to the knee, and then switch knees, and then go back up, and then do it again. And dude, once you go up, down, switch, back up, down, switch, and you do that 10, 15 times, you can feel it in your whole body, dude, your whole core. And it's a little workout with your rifle. And if you do it often, your chihuahua looks at you weird. But
one of the things I would say too, besides
the shit out of me,
dry fire and training, is like, and even if you're doing competitive stuff, is like, bro, you should always seek higher knowledge from people that are better than you.
Yeah,
right. Sure. Go to training classes. Like you can only judge yourself so much that you need that best set of eyes you can possibly afford to have on you. Get a set of eyes on you and help improve you faster.
Put it like this: the people that fucking canoe heads for a living, okay, like the people that actually get in gunfights for a job, where do you think they are looking to improve their shooting skills and stuff like that? Do you think that they're looking internally? Do you think that they're having other combat vets come in and teach classes? No, they're going to fucking like people that teach competitively. You know what I'm saying? That like professional fucking professional shooting instructors, not like, fucking. I don't even want to name drop. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that, but I was gonna be like some other veteran, fucking. It's like that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Fucking. Like, yeah, you might have the experience, but
I mean, the concepts behind a lot of battle stuff
in a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? And that's the skill that you're trying to develop.
Yep, you got to. For sure.
Fucking Ben Stager, dude. Talking on the topic of dry fire, his dry fire instruction videos on YouTube are goated. That like I've noticed some improvement on my dry fire tendencies, which when you're training dry fire, the things that you're training are obviously just like trigger pull and fucking sight alignment while you're doing trigger pull and stuff like that. But like he has like a pretty easy drill that you run, where it's basically, you know, you just cock an empty gun fucking, and you just hammer on that trigger over and over and just see what the sights do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to tell you what you're going to do on the range. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even have to have a live trigger every single time. The theory is just because you're not going to feel the trigger every time when you pull the trigger and you're shooting fast.
For sure.
You're going to just fucking, you're going to roll on through, or, you know, slap it in a lot of people's cases, and fucking just do what you're going to do when you're going to go fast anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then fucking that you'll see what kind of input you got when you're doing that, and it's going to replicate the same thing when you're on the range.
Yo, is that one guy?
Isn't Steger an 8-time world champion?
Who?
Steger? Is my bad. I was saying is that one guy? Is that D's Nuts Tactical? That one guy 985. He was like, speaking of Hoffman, I make those triggers in North Idaho. Definitely not D's Nuts Tactical or Warhammer Armaments. Yo, holla at your boy.
I have one of those triggers. It's very nice. Very nice. It was in the IAR video.
Bro, I actually got a few from Hoffman when he did the 3D printed ones out of American 17.4 steel, and dude, they're nasty. But I will say, I do have a Warhammer slip trip and whatever the MP5 hammer 2.0 is, the cut and reshaped hammer in the MP5 SD clone up there. So shout out if that's you. Shout out there.
Hi, Jake.
Okay.
Here.
But I know, you know, it's easy for us to get back on the you know, government that's you know, having you know, sexual intercourse with children, ritualistic, cannibalistic, blood drinking, infant sex. But before we get back on that, I'm just curious, what are y'all carrying nowadays?
M&P 2.0 compact.
M&P 2.0 compact, nice.
That.
You carrying the Aimpoint T1 on the Glock slide?
Not anymore. That was a fun experiment.
I don't even know, like, in my brain, I can't like understand how the screws did, you know, but
it was a Unity tactical Atom slide. They don't make them anymore. But the Atom slide was a Glock 19 slide milled for a T2.
That's fucking poop madness. It actually poop madness.
It was holes underneath.
It had holes underneath.
Yeah, it went all the way up through. Just drilled all the way through.
Can I just drill holes in all my Glock slides? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if you know how to tap them right.
Yeah, as long as you don't hit the striker or the fucking ejection spring, the ejector spring, you'd probably be fine.
Yeah.
Safety plunger.
I like the ones I almost picked up a firearm, but I kind of want one of those Glocks that has the hangover rail where the optic doesn't move, the competitive racist Glocks.
The rail mounted, accessory rail mounted.
I wish they would fit in like safari lands and stuff, because other than that, I'd actually
do make holsters for them. It's just they're totally not practical for anything other than a competition setting.
Yeah, I mean that would be that would be pretty fire. Like the ones that go into the pins on the frame and you screw them down, you put the big old Seymour sight on the top. Dude, yeah, that's pretty fire. Back when Staccato was STI, and they had some nasty 2011, I guess they were 2011s back then, maybe. But the STI race guns with those same kind of mounts on them, dude, those things were nasty.
Hell yeah. Fucking comps that's long and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll roll through something because I like doing this with Risky while we got him on the show. But what type of practical rollout do you think we would actually see of this alien stuff? Do you think that it's because there was, I think during the Hunter Biden stuff, that we had all the court cases where they were bringing the alien stuff back up as like, okay, hold on, we got to hide this Hunter Biden's trial, and so like let's bring out the aliens. Do you think it's gonna just disappear?
Florida aliens.
Florida you remember that aliens. One?
Yeah. I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I'll say this on the alien thing. The only shit with the aliens that has my curiosity peaked is whatever they're doing under the ocean.
Yeah. Under the whole earth.
That's it. Underwater, under the land. I really feel like they're hiding shit in the depths. And to sound weird, I like it. That's wild to me. But in the same respect, I don't trust it. It's all bullshit. But it's fun. It's an exciting thought experiment to think that they're hiding alien or, well, in my thought process, demonic shit under the waves. I think that's fascinating.
I'm sure they are.
Once you learn, my bad. Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm glitching. I think that's what it is.
Once you find out that they're hiding like massive 200,000 square foot facilities under glaciers in our country, and that they're controlling weather with chemicals in the environment and radio waves, and that, like, what else so we're naturally curious.
Where
right?
does it stop?
Yeah, like what else would surprise us? So when you think about that, like, what are the places that they could effectively hide things that no one would ever go? Right, the ocean. And I've heard some different.
They're hiding shit in the ocean. They're hiding shit in cave networks. They're hiding shit in the national forests. And Antarctica is larger than they're telling you. It's hidden land masses. That's I sound like a schizo. I don't care. That's
you guys think the Earth is flat?
I don't think the Earth. I think that they're hiding land.
Listen,
I think that the Earth is larger.
I think the maps that we have are bullshit. But listen, I've been to Lake Michigan. There's no way that you should be able to see fucking the Chicago skyline.
There's a guy.
Right? There's no way.
There's a guy. He was a pastor. He died during COVID. He had a bunch of flat Earth videos. I forget his name, but he did that.
Rob Skiba.
Where Rob Skiba. He was on Lake Michigan, and you could see the skyline, and he floated holding the camera, and you could see the skyline the entire way there.
Doesn't
and
change.
It should have been 64 miles underneath the camera.
Yeah, no, there's the
I can't explain
equation
that
for determining the fucking radius of the horizon.
It's like 0.8 miles.
Like you should be able to see this much of the tallest buildings in Chicago. Why the fuck can you see all of them?
It doesn't make sense.
All the time from space.
Atmospheric.
It's either
They're like it's a mirage. It's like that's not how mirages work. They don't.
I'm going to sound crazy.
No, but
I don't necessarily think it's flat.
I'm not a flat earther, by the way. I just think that is fucking crazy to me.
It's either got to be flat or it's way larger than they're telling us.
Yeah,
and my gut tells me it's just way larger than they're telling us, and they're hiding land masses. And the only place I can foresee them hiding it is Antarctica. Because go look at some satellite imagery of satellites flying over Antarctica. Here's what I want to see. Here's what would change my mind. I'm not saying it's flat. That's not what I said.
Me neither. For the record, I'm not.
Show me a picture.
Thing is weird.
Show me a picture of all of Antarctica compared to the rest of the globe, all in one image.
Yeah, but
show
even
that to
if
me.
You saw it, would you believe it?
I don't know. I'd have to see the image. Probably not.
Yeah,
but
I probably wouldn't.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to look.
I feel like
if you can even
Antarctica is the key to everything.
You can go to like a little tip by Argentina that sticks out, like a peninsula.
That's probably just an island, bro.
You're right, though. And people, the comments will probably go wild here for the people still listening, but you're not wrong. And Rob Skiba put it on video, and he died during COVID. He filmed the entire Great Lakes going across and seeing the skyline. At a distance, you should not be able to see the skyline.
Right.
He did it. It's on video on YouTube. It's got like 2 or 3 million views.
It's still up.
I don't know if the ground is curved, but I know the sky is curved. So that's one. If for whoever's
it's biblically
out there,
accurate.
The sky is
the
curved.
Sky to be curved.
Correct.
Yes. So again, I don't. And here's the funny thing: people will literally hear this one tidbit and say you're an idiot, and they'll disregard everything we've said. I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying what they're telling me doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I
I
don't
think
know what
that's
to
their
believe.
plan,
I just
too.
don't believe them.
I don't believe
I
a
mean-
fucking word they say.
Not at
No.
all.
You think they went back to the moon just now?
I don't think they ever
No.
went in the first place.
We've never been to the moon, bro.
That's
ever.
such bullshit. You think India went to the fucking moon?
It's
That happened
last
like
their
a year or
video?
two ago. They were like, hooray! They had the fucking like PS2 graphic bullshit with like they had a camera on the moon already to fucking film the landing of their
Bro.
fucking
Bro,
bullshit.
the
I
moon
love,
would be
I
yellow
love the
and
fact
filled
that
with
y'all
curry.
are
kidding
on
me?
board with this because I've done schizo rants. There ain't no schizo rant like y'all are prepared to hear on my thoughts on this subject. This is where I get retarded. I fall asleep listening to videos on this
That's
subject.
fair, bro.
Like this
Me
is where
too.
I'm at. I'm balls deep in not believing NASA and the size of the Earth and all that and hidden lands. Like it might be flat. I don't know. I don't know. And here's the funny thing: the people that get so butthurt, it's like, why do you care so much? What shape it is or what the size of it is?
Because it's
Bro,
what they're
snipers
telling you.
calculate-
It's some
snipers-
patriotic weird thing that people
Yeah.
have.
That's such a
It's
weird
snipers.
hill to
Like-
die on. Is the fucking
Yeah.
is anything to do with the Earth and the Moon? Anything to do
Yeah.
with that? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? As soon as you question,
Bro,
it.
I have a telescope.
I've
I have
watched
a
Neil
telescope.
deGrasse
Matrix
Tyson. He told me
NPC
not-
activation code shit.
It is very, it's very telling when people try to shut you down immediately
Yeah.
when you start questioning that.
Well,
And-
because
and-
Like,
and
this
I'm
person's
even
gonna turn
being
into Agent
very
Smith any second now.
reasonable.
I
I'm
love
being
this.
very
kill me.
reasonable by saying I don't know because I have absolute hard beliefs on this. I'm just not trying to deal with at this moment.
but
I
you
love-
have to.
I love when we get this comment on the moon landing stuff. It's like, bro, the Soviets would have totally tattletaled on us if
Oh,
if
no.
we faked it.
bro,
It's so
every-
ridiculous.
we've never
Is you
been
gonna
to the
tell on
moon.
me?
We've never been
You
to the
can
moon.
tell immediately how many rabbit holes somebody's been down when they try to shut it down.
Yo,
It's like
look,
you're not ready for this, dog.
the thing is like, and I remember when the first person ever said anything about Jews to me, I was like, right, and then it's like, let me do some research into this, right, and then you go down different rabbit holes, but once someone is told that everything that they've been told for their entire life, like all these things that they've sat and celebrated and clapped in front of a TV with their family, and that's all lies. You've been lied to. It like that's
Wake
hard
up.
for people to accept.
Joe
It's
Biden,
almost like
wake
when
up.
you come out and
Go
say,
look
like,
at what NASA
you know,
means in Hebrew.
making a
Oh,
sig,
God.
making a
I'm not
sig-
even playing.
purchase a
I'm not
sig-
even playing at all.
Dude, that's rich.
You know what it means?
No, please.
To
don't.
deceive.
Really?
It means to
Oh,
deceive.
yeah, I've heard that.
Wow.
Let's see if I could fix
What
my audio.
was that new fucking new rat virus or whatever? That
The
fucking
Fanta or the Hanta virus.
it's Hanta, which literally means like fake or something in Hebrew.
Yeah,
Like it literally means fake virus.
I
So then-
subscribe to the acronym NASA, not a space agency.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's all fake. I think
Dude,
it's
what
totally
about the
100%
creation
an
of
intelligence
NASA?
agency, and that's it.
What about the creation of NASA right alongside the creation of
Operation
the CIA?
Paperclip.
Yeah.
Go look at Operation Dominic and Operation Fishbowl.
Jamie
Go look at
pulled it
those.
up. Hold on.
Dominic and
Yeah.
Those are some fun ones.
Dominic and Fishbowl is when they were testing nuclear weapons in high altitude. It's quote unquote how they discovered EMPs, which there's actually video of it too. It looks like it just smashes into stuff.
Like this deep space shit. I think, and I don't know how high it is. And again, I don't know anything more than the viewer, right? And them saying they know is laughable because they're just getting their shit from the Science Channel or Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
I think we're in a closed system and we can't get out of it. I'm not saying it's a fishbowl 10 miles above the earth. I don't know how high it is. I have no idea. I think we can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to hide
with
that.
there. I'm with you there. Like going into space, I haven't done it.
And I'm not
do-
saying I can't
truly-
explain the planets. I'm not saying I know. Because I
There's
don't
only
know.
First of
I'm
all,
saying I think
5 minutes.
it's all in an enclosed system, and we cannot escape that system. And we're trying to hide that from the public because that one denies the existence of God by saying it's all this scientific shit.
Yeah, endless
And then B,
expanding.
it's the biggest rabbit hole in my opinion. I think it goes deeper than the Jew rabbit hole. It's the rabbit hole to go down. And I think people aren't ready for that. I think we're just now dealing with
evidence that
Jews
shows
and shit like that. This is the next level.
Any evidence that's out there that sort of proves any sort of biblical text or anything like that. Like we've already seen huge fucking attempts to try and cover that shit up. Like the Smithsonian in particular has gone to such fucking great lengths to just cover up anything like that, like destroying fucking Nephilim
giant
bones and shit like that. Yeah.
Nephilim is also a key to it.
Oh yeah.
Nephilim, sexual ritual abuse or satanic ritual abuse. Antarctica, huge one. Nephilim, huge one.
Do you still watch the Blurry Creature sometimes?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I haven't watched or listened to a single episode of that since I was on YouTube.
All right.
I've been so hyper focused on current events.
I haven't watched all of them, but I had one come across me not long ago, and it was all about the pre-Adamite society, which basically was the fallen angels actually had dominion of this earth before we were created, and that's why they hate us so much because we were given. Yeah, he was actually, you guys are total failures, and I created something in my image.
I partially, and I might be wrong because I haven't watched them in a long time. So if I'm wrong, forgive me sincerely. I feel like these dudes are evangelical Zionists that run that account. I feel like
there's a
bunch of this shit is on point, but some of the stuff I hear them say, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
But that makes it enjoyable to listen
Nephilim
to.
and demons and all this shit, and then it's wait,
a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah. So take it all with a grain of salt. There's some stuff that's super on point and awesome, and then half of it I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, Rogan's like that. Alex Jones is like that. The bigger channels, they all pander this well, I also have other that way. I feel like you can't pin them down on this is their belief system. They jump, and I'm not saying that necessarily Blurry Creatures is like that, because the longer you watch someone like Alex Jones and Joe Rogan, you're like, I know who's paying you. I know who's behind you. I know why.
Here's the test.
Here's
the test. Is the person you're listening to willing to say the J word?
Yeah.
If they are, big positive, right? Keep listening. If they're able to question NASA, another big positive. If you can do both of those, I feel like that person is probably trying to tell the truth. They might not be telling the truth. They might be wrong, but I feel like they're probably trying to.
Yeah, they're open.
Yeah. And again, it's hilarious to me, and you guys know this, but anyone who dies on the emotional hill of NASA and space and shit and science, I'm immediately like, fuck you, dude. You're such a bitch.
They probably also have the fluoride stare whenever you fucking tell them any of the shit that's contrary.
You could be on the same page, and as soon as you mention closed system, they're like, what? No, 4 billion years. All this shit.
Dude, look at the moon, bro. Look at the moon and tell me the Earth isn't round, bro.
Yeah, I have a telescope, bro. I've seen round things there.
They're all round up there. Yeah, it's retarded.
The Earth is flat. How come we haven't fallen off yet?
Yeah.
There's got to be one person. That's where Amelia Earhart. Yeah. Bro. Come on.
I love to think, and who knows if it's real or not, but I love to think that the hidden diary of Admiral Byrd is real.
Me too.
I think that's a fun thought experiment.
I'm not hip.
It's in the presidential book of secrets.
Yeah.
The one from National Treasure.
Oval Office desk.
No,
I don't know if it's real or not, but I would like to pretend it's real.
Do you ever have the movie They Live, where like sometimes you feel like you have the lenses and you walk in the store and like there's like someone with a NASA
I
shirt?
can't take. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
take the
embedded in
lenses
my
off.
eyeballs. What do you mean?
Yeah.
They never go
They're
away.
contact
I
lenses.
can't
They
get
fucking
them
can't
out.
get
And
out.
and you see the NASA shirt and you're like, I wish I could just go off right now.
But here's the
Yo.
thing: like, I also used to be balls deep
Fucking
into that.
globe heads.
And I used
Yeah.
to think that they were 100. I used to fall asleep 10 years ago. I used to fall asleep to the fucking the universe videos that are 45 minutes
But
long and
bro,
be
but
like, man, we're such a small speck. Like it's
that's what brought us here, because one day we're like, hold up, I've been lied to. And then like all of a sudden we go down this path, and then we're like, yo, this can't be true. If that's fake, if that's not real, if you lied about this, you must have lied about this. And then all of a sudden you know, bring something up with your like friends or family, or I can't do Thanksgivings anymore. That's done. You know, like it's you cannot unsee something like that. And I remember when I was a young man, and like the first time I realized that the news lied to me, and it just like clicked, and I was like, what? Hold
Caught
on.
it in
No,
real time.
you said,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
yeah,
something
bro.
I've seen before with my own eyes, hand to God. I swear on my children's life, right? Like that serious. I was riding, I remember the day. It was probably 3 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm with my wife. We're on the way back from dinner. I remember the road I was on and everything. I looked out my driver's side window. I'm driving, and it was a clear day, and there was a cloud, and it was behind the sun. So the sun is a perfect ball
What?
circle, and there's a cloud behind it, but it's a clear day with minimal cloud activity. A few clouds, but that's it. And I look at my wife and I said, and my wife is a fucking nurse practitioner, right? Like she's got a science degree, a master's degree. And I'm like, the sun is in front of the cloud. And she's like, yeah, so. And I'm like, think about
What do you
that
mean?
for
What?
fucking 5 seconds. And she's like, I don't get it. What? And I'm like,
Dude.
the fucking sun is in front of the cloud. How is that physically possible? And she's like, I don't know. What are you trying to say? And I like explained it to her, and she's like, yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
I'll
And I
give
remember
you a
sitting there
crazier
driving,
one.
looking at him like, what the fuck is happening right
I've
now?
also had a weird interaction with the sun, but I'll let Nomad go first.
All right, so you can see this all the time. It's very obvious. Okay, on a full moon night, when you look up at the sky and you're like, okay, the moon is quote unquote by their statistics 239 through 237 miles away, 237,000 miles away, rather. It should be, if it illuminated the side of the earth, the clouds would illuminate a lot. But if you just look up on a full moon and it's cloudy, you will only see the clouds right next to the moon illuminated, and everything else will not be. You'll still have
weird
shine.
I got a
but
weird one for you.
That one is like,
has anyone else noticed this? And maybe it's just that I'm older and paying attention. I'm not attributing this to like flat earth or anything like that. I'm saying I've noticed it and it's weird. Have any of y'all been seeing the moon more during the day than you did when you were little?
More than I ever have in my entire life, dog.
Is that not like I notice it
pointing it out to my
regularly
daughter.
throughout the week? Like I can see the fucking moon right now. Like I don't
And, like,
remember,
2 o'clock
and
in the
maybe I
afternoon.
wasn't again, I'm not trying to say it's all a conspiracy. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention as a child. But I feel like I see it during the day multiple times a week now. And I don't ever remember seeing that as a child.
I do though. I used to be outside so much that I actually like playing like little league baseball. I'd remember as a kid being like, "Oh crap, that's the moon."
Yeah,
I mean, I
Oh,
remember
shoot,
seeing
fly
it
ball.
like once in a while. I
have-
don't remember seeing it every single week.
Listen,
I mean, it's
I
the
don't
sky.
know.
The sky clock is the most accurate clock in the world. All of our man-made clocks are based on the sky clock. So, I mean, I don't know if it's changed, but
Again, I'm not trying to to speculate on that. I'm just saying it's something weird I've noticed lately, and maybe it's just because I'm noticing.
It
Well,
is speculation.
have you guys gone like understand like the calendar that we live on, like the Gregorian calendar versus like the 28-day cycle of 13 months and all that stuff? Have you ever dived down that?
Dude, I got something for you. So apparently with the fucking Mayan calendar, like, you know how it was like a big deal. It's like, oh my God, it's going to end in 2012. Like, holy shit. Fucking, well, apparently the Mayans didn't have the normal like calendar year, the days that we have per year. It's like longer or whatever. So you know when the Mayan calendar actually ends? 2027, dude. 2027.
2027 and 2030 are very sketchy years.
Very
from
common numbers
from the CIA whistleblower
types.
types.
Yes.
I don't think we make it to 2030 in the same
Well,
world.
the CIA whistleblowers say the big reveal on aliens is 2027.
Yeah, I believe it. 100%. It's just natural.
There's
order,
many
man.
videos on this. Many videos.
So,
dude, there was someone that had just said that there was some type of leaked documents stating that apparently Project Bluebeam is supposed to start May 30th. That's like 14 and a half days away now. You know?
Like 2 weeks.
I think a lot of people.
Anytime they drop that, I'm always like, nah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I
won't be surprised, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, look, people are literally getting paid to post content, and I think that, like, okay, so the world didn't end in 2012, so those people were probably like, let's take a look at this.
Well, that was just a mistake. That was a mistake at doing their research properly. You know what I'm saying?
I just think
they just looked at it the number of years, not the number of days, and you know.
Yeah, I get that. I just think some people may be exploiting opportunities to publish content, maybe a little fear, maybe like especially if like I can't tell you how many of these preparedness channels that are like, we are on the precipice of World War 12. We are, knocking on the front door, and if you want to make it, you better buy my food buckets. And
those are my favorite videos in 2010, by the way.
I know, right? Dude, I can't. When I watch
Agenda 26,
and he's like,
Agenda 21.
We're on the threshold, and if you want to survive, my new trucker hats are on sale for $19.95.
Buy my book.
I can't stand that guy.
Orchesterone.
So, dude, okay. This I don't know if you guys have seen this. Going back to the sun thing, okay. I had one. This was implanted in my brain permanently when this fucking happened. I'll never forget this day. I was like fucking probably 12 years old. All right. And fucking I remember hanging out at my buddy's house. We were outside in the backyard, whatever. I'm looking at the daggone fucking horizon, right? Because the sun was setting. It was like, 5:30, some shit like that. And I remember vividly seeing the sun literally move like 2 or 3 hours of space, like just in the sky. Like it was just like here, and then it was like, and like, dude, I saw all of the fucking shadows on the ground move with it and shit. It was like I just like stood. It was like I fucking fast traveled in time, like for fucking 3 hours. You know what I'm saying?
In the Matrix, bro.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck was that? And it was like I'm like looking around, and it's like nobody fucking really said it. But at the time, I also didn't even bring it up because I was just like, 12 and retarded. I'm like, oh, that was weird. But then I thought about it later. I'm like, dude, what the fuck was that? Like, what was that? You know what I mean?
Some of these things.
Well,
like,
luckily, guaranteed there will be somebody in the comments that has a perfectly reasonable explanation and calls you crazy.
Please fucking tell me.
Yeah. You've been noticing too much. Oh, he trusts NASA more, you fucking bitch. Right? How dare you?
Yeah, Big Bean. I had a fucking stroke at 12 years old.
Pay attention to your own eyes. How dare you, you fuck.
And that's when
lived
the
experience
went on. Yeah. Your perception was skewed. You were only a child. It's adolescence. Were you doing drugs? There's always an excuse.
I can't recommend enough the Rob Skiba going across the leg video.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna check it out.
I gotta, dude. I
I'm
can't
telling
believe
you right
I can't
now.
believe I've died on this hill and I have never seen that video.
Just type in
Rob
Rob Skiba Lake,
Skiba.
Michigan.
Yeah, hold on.
You go watch and here's the funny thing. Rob Skiba, I'm pretty sure is a Zionist.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was.
I
He's
think
dead now.
maybe,
But
he
like
is.
his shit was on fucking point.
Maybe he
talks
is,
about
maybe he's
Nephilim.
not.
He might be. Again, it's been years since I watched this guy's videos, right? But and some of the stuff probably wasn't in the same line of thinking that we have. A vast majority of it is, though. Like the dude was excellent in his research, and he was willing to change his mind if the evidence proved differently.
Dude, there's no fucking way. I mean,
but it always kind of
shit.
pointed towards what we're getting at, though.
That's
which is the
crazy.
wild part.
The world is way more interesting than we were told it was as kids. That's for sure.
I love it too, and it's funny.
Me
It's
too.
fucking hilarious to me when people are like, they want to shoot it down like you're an idiot. It's like these
No
are the same
thinking.
people,
Dude, you're
who
literally just
who
a
haven't
mass
looked
of
into
atoms,
anything.
bro. You're nothing. You're literally just fucking dust.
You're not allowed to ask questions. Put your star back on.
That's it right there.
I love
for
that.
folks that,
Yeah, it's already favorited.
And here's another thing too. Like the Overton window has shifted so much. When I first started looking into this, I would hide it. I was almost ashamed that I was that I was noticing these things because of how crazy I appeared.
Because what if you're wrong? You know?
Because what if you're wrong? Oh man, you're gonna be a loser.
Well, you're
right? And now it's like, I'm going on 40 in a few years. The shit, I can't deny my own eyes, right?
Yeah.
The shit's
You have a
accurate.
functioning brain.
I don't give a fuck what people on the internet think of me. And I'm at the point now, like, I'm telling everyone on the fire department. They're like, no way. And I'm like, watch this video, bitch. And they watch it and they're like, you're fucking right. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I've always thought too, like when I look out at like a skyline of a city, like I've been up at places where I could see skylines everywhere. And like you would think a skyline would have to curve out like if you put a bunch of toothpicks on a ball, right? Like they'd incrementally, like, yes, you'd have to have a certain size, but there would be some type of measurement you could measure if it was.
Stop trying.
Bro, go watch
a 40-mile city.
Here's the best argument.
Seize him.
People will tell you. People will tell you you're wrong. I've seen the curvature of Earth from a plane.
Yeah, that's what.
No,
oh
you
God.
haven't. No, you haven't.
And then you pull up and you say, "You bitch, haven't you seen your Lord and Savior Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about this?" And you pull up the Neil deGrasse Tyson video where he debunks Felix Baumgartner, the guy, the Red Bull guy who skydived from 89,000 feet. And at 89,000 feet, he says, I can see the curvature of the Earth. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says he couldn't see it. He wasn't high enough up in the air to see it. And then it's, oh, so you saw the curvature of the Earth from 20,000 feet when Neil deGrasse Tyson says the guy at 89,000 or 69,000, whatever it is,
wasn't high enough.
Couldn't see it? Interesting.
I
swear, very fucking interesting.
Never in a plane.
When you're 1 millimeter above this beach ball, that's the Neil deGrasse Tyson video. You cannot see the curve of the Earth when you're 1 millimeter above this beach ball.
Just hit them with their own guy, and they don't know what to do, and then they get mad at you.
They're like, well, Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't the authority on everything.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, he said some pretty off-the-wall stuff before. I swear they're putting like lenses in the windows in planes to make the world look like
fisheye windows.
Yeah, like it's like fishbowl, like they got GoPro lenses in them.
Dude, it's always a fucking fishbowl.
I want to hit on this real quick, and I don't want to go too deep into the Epstein stuff, but like, bro, the Epstein Islands and files, they haven't stopped. They're never gonna stop. They like if you needed the Epstein files to figure out this, you were way late to the party. I keep telling people this over and over because I've been on 9/11 since day one, watching it from a middle school screen TV, like Buildings don't fall that way, guys. Like
Bro,
what
you think it's hard?
you
You
saying?
think it's hard to tell people about this stuff? Try telling all of the firefighters that 9/11 was an inside job. I do it every day. Every day I'm at work. I'm like,
just
dude,
show them the
fucking- that
video
didn't
of the
happen.
show them the
Have you
video
seen
of all the
these dancers?
firefighters, all the
Bro,
Have you seen
firefighters
these
on the day.
dancers? Yeah.
The dance
Go-
don't even get me
And then
started.
people want to tell me, no, you're wrong.
Have
It
you
could. I'm like,
seen-
I'm not a structural collapse technician or anything. Like, I don't have any idea of what I'm talking about, yet none of this shit makes sense.
Dog, there's so many. I mean, have you seen the pictures of the dancing Israelis that were in there prior to the date? That
I've
had
seen everything. It's mind blowing.
floor to
seen it all.
ceiling boxes of remote switches, and
I'm so deep in the mix. I'm convinced they were transporting gold on the trains before the fucking shit fell.
Oh,
Bro,
they were, yeah. That gold
believe
disappeared
that.
before it fell. Believe that.
Yeah.
I got
I
one
just-
parting gift for you guys. Okay, fucking like in terms of anti-normie detection devices and shit like that, aka just conspiracy theories. Fucking the Las Vegas country music festival event with Stephen Paddock. Holy fuck,
Yeah, bro.
dude, that
It doesn't
is
get
such
any
a
more
deep
real
rabbit
than that.
hole.
Bro,
biggest
that
fucking
should have been our
Go watch-
sign.
Go watch
Yeah.
the SWAT team video of them going in and none of the glasses broken.
None of the glasses broke, or just like body cam footage of police in the area where it's just like,
Bro, I
like
don't even
gunfire
believe
in
Helen
every
Keller
fucking
was
Dude,
real.
it was bump stocks.
yeah, totally. with 200 round magazines, bro.
I don't care who you are.
They were
if
fucking this long.
You could have
Alright.
trained with a bump stock for years. Okay, you ain't running
Bro,
one.
it's
That was
so
a
ass.
240.
I'm at the
Bravo.
point Helen Keller was a fucking hoax. None of
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you're
With
you're
the-
not
oh,
going to win me over with Neil
with her
deGrasse
ballpoint pen,
Tyson
bro. Her ballpoint
Yeah.
pen that she got
and
from the
Anne
future.
Frank. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah, that was Anne
what was
Frank.
the dude in the wheelchair? Stephen
Stephen
Hawking's?
Yeah.
Another rabbit hole. The Stephen
They
Hawking
just
rabbit hole.
got to make things so ridiculous that people don't question it. Like there's a bunch of live rounds under the no, there was some live rounds, but no spent casings. Like where's the casing?
Yeah,
So,
where are the thousands of
I'll
billions?
leave you guys
There's
with
like a
this,
handful there.
and then we can go around the panel and close up shop. But the goal of this stuff, you as a human being are in the image of God. You are created as this child of God, this entity. Okay, their goal with 90% of it is 10% is brainwashing. The other 90% is to suck your life force and have you waste your time in life believing BS that they feed you, which ultimately means they own your life force because you believe the crap that they fed you and you have self-identified that is the reality you live in. And their whole goal is to steal that life force from you so you don't go off and be like, I should have a farm and a clan of dudes with me, and we should have a community, and we should protect ourselves, and we should protect our kids. We should protect every bit of information going into them and every piece of food going into them. And our bodies are a temple for the living God. And that's why they want to steal that life force. That is the whole plan of all the bull crap.
Well, they have to, and that is why everything with, I mean, like they brought up the Epstein files. That's why everything with them is all about ritualistic pedophile sex and all that. And then the whole thing about like, what about the Epstein files and the islands? That hasn't stopped because that is the biggest business in the world, second to the war. Industrial,
Military industrial complex.
Thank you. The war industrial. Words are hard. To the military industrial complex, because guess what? The most powerful people in the world getting blackmailed by the most disgusting, ritualistic, satanic. Like, I can't even explain how
all the red flag acronyms.
Yeah, bro. Terrible things.
Everyone that YouTube hates, just blurt it out.
My bad. Sorry, man. Sorry.
The J's, the P's, the Q's, the Y's.
Like So yeah, it hasn't stopped. It's not going to stop. And guess what? It's going to continue. It's going to get worse. And the only thing you can do right now is get right with God, build a close relationship with Christ, prepare every single way that you can. And even though things are hard, things get difficult, it's easy to get black pilled. Do not squander the beautiful gift that is life. And just like all the things Nomad was saying, sorry, you've been Red Dawn for so many years to me. That we have to still honor the life that we've been given without like compromising it because we're so apathetic because we're all being lied to, we're all being poisoned, it's so easy to just check out and say, screw it, I don't care anymore. That is exactly what they want us to do. Next to that, acting in a violent manner is exactly what they want us to do, right? Because then they get exactly what they need. Proof that, we're these disgusting, deplorable people. We need to be somewhere in the middle where we are men that are great leaders, great spiritual leaders of our households, raising our children, first making children, being great spiritual leaders for our children, turning them into great people, and working on ourselves, living our lives based on biblical standards where we're faithful and obedient individuals, but we are also training ourselves, not just ourselves, but training and becoming as highly skilled in violence as we possibly can be while remaining as disciplined as we can be to not exercise that muscle unless we absolutely need to. So please don't think that anything that I've said should be misconstrued as a call to anything, or that all I want to do is just lay down, worship Christ, and then make my daughter an incredible, help make my daughter an incredible person, and be an awesome warrior for God, and that's it.
For sure. Risky, what you got? You got
They
anything?
want you dead. They want you helpless. Project 2030 is real. They're fucking dropping ticks from helicopters onto your property so you get allergic to meat.
Mm-hmm.
All you can do is put Christ first and prepare. It's going to get worse before it gets worse. I don't say that to be a doomer. I say that because it's the truth. Prepare for it. And don't give a fuck when you stand up for truth and people look at you like you're crazy. That is the vax stare back at you. Do not worry. That means you're right.
Mm-hmm. What you got, OG?
I got a piece of scripture for you. All right. This is Revelation 21, verse 4, starting off. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. That is the hope and the promise that we have. And that is why I keep going. Despite the fact that we literally live in hell right now. You know what I mean?
But remember, OG, on earth as it is in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven, bro. We're in the kingdom.
Yeah, we have a duty to be good stewards for the kingdom. You know what I mean? And that is the calling to continue to run the race. So it's find your community, preserve your culture, and be a good steward for life itself, not for death.
Guys, I appreciate everybody coming on the show. I will finish up with as well, like what OG was just saying. Don't lose the fruit of the spirit no matter what. When he wipes away all the tears and all of those great things that come in a certain time, it is here now in you. And maintain joy, happiness, peace, love, all those things, no matter what happens. Maintain that. And we're the light of the world. So what they want to do is suck your light from you and your energy. And I always go back to the parable of the 10 virgins. Keep your lamp full with oil, which is the Holy Spirit, and await the King's return. And these guys said it great. Appreciate you guys coming on the show. I'm going to run the outro. If you want to hang out, you hang out backstage for a minute, and the outro is like 25 seconds. But hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff, because on this channel, we're going to be doing more spirituality, which is Christianity, not other kinds of spirituality, fitness, firearms training, preparedness, all that good stuff. If you like it, stick around. If not, we'll catch you guys later.
Follow all the homies.
Everybody.
Follow everybody. We all got channels.
Respectfully.
YouTube, Rumble, X.
Yeah, you better.
And remember, 1 John 5:19, the entire world is influenced by the evil one. Now I'll shut up.
Amen.
The remnant of nomads feel lost in a world they don't recognize, controlled by evil forces who seek to enslave them. They have trained and prepared for this very moment.